People in Douluo can travel across all realms. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 101, The End of Naruto. Okay, these are the ninjutsu you want. Orochimaru handed over 3 scrolls. Yunshu opened it and looked at it and found that there was nothing wrong with it, then threw the previously written scroll to Orochimaru. Don't talk nonsense. Your world has been watched by people, although they probably won't arrive here for many years. After finishing speaking, Yunshu used Shenwei to send himself into the Shenwei space. It turns out that the Shenwei space is like this. Although there was a memory transmitted by the shadow clone before, the memory is still just a memory, and naturally it cannot compare to the feeling of touching it with my own hands now. This is an unknown metal? Yunshu touched the 3-dimensional block under his feet and found that it was not a rock or something, but an extremely hard metal substance that had never been seen before. Forget it, let's ignore this. The most urgent thing is to solve the problem of Ninetales. Yunshu came to Naruto's side because the time had not passed and Naruto hadn't had a good rest for a long time, so he was knocked unconscious. Naruto hasn't woken up yet. Yunshu opened Naruto's clothes and saw the gossip seal on his stomach. The gossip seal is actually composed of 2 4-element seals. Yunshu also took out the 4-element seal that Orochimaru gave him, which clearly recorded how to untie the seal. The 8-diagram seal. Solution. Raw. The moment the seal was released, a huge chakra instantly occupied Naruto Uzumaki's body, and in just 3 seconds, it grew from no tails to 9 tails. Immediately afterwards, something seemed to flash through Naruto's body, and Kyuubi was sealed again in an instant, without even a trace of chakra. Only a naked Naruto was left, lying quietly on the cube. Turtle. 9 tails chakra is too violent, and the erosive power is so strong. At this time, Naruto lost a piece of complete skin on his body. Because of Ninetales Jinchuriki, Naruto's skin began to regenerate rapidly. Did Minato and Kyukune seal Kyuubi? What a joke. Both of them have only a trace of chakra left, but they can still perfectly seal this Kyuubi that has almost recovered to its full body. Yunshu sighed secretly from the side. Although the Ninetales has been split into 2 parts, the tail beast can still grow. The half of the Yang Ninetales has returned to its original state after 12 years. This is why there is only half of the Ninetales. The reason why it is so powerful is that in terms of strength, the current half Yang Ninetales is almost the same as the full Ninetales before. Looks like I have to explain it again. Yunshu walked up to the celebrity helplessly and took out a piece of cloth to cover Naruto's bottom. Just being naked like this affected Yunshu's mood a bit. Seal of the 8 diagrams. Solution. Yunshu. After the seal was lifted, Naruto's body still didn't move at all. Could it be that Kyuubi made some kind of deal with Minato Kyukiner again? Yunshu was a little helpless. I just wanted to take a Ninetales, so it would be so troublesome. Yunshu hugged Naruto, then opened his eyelids and entered Naruto's spiritual space using Sharingan. Minato, who was educating Kyuubi, suddenly heard a familiar voice, and when he looked back, a figure rushed towards him. Kusakuna. Minato said happily, after seeing his wife. Originally, it was impossible for Minato and Kyukune to meet, because the setting of Minato's chakra was to repair the seal, when Naruto was about to be bewitched by Kyuubi to unlock the seal, and then use the remaining chakra to tell Naruto what made Naruto Jinchuriki, and tell Naruto the truth about the mastermind, who controlled Kyuubi to attack Konoha before his death. On the other hand, Kyukune's chakra appeared after completely unlocking the seal of Kyuubi to repress Kyuubi, and then confessed to his son. In their plan, Naruto should be well protected, and there is no chance of being directly and completely opened by outsiders, so they will not have the chance to meet. But now, Yunshu directly untied the entire gossip seal from the outside world, causing Minato and Kyukuna to activate at the same time and gather together. It seems that Naruto's life is really in danger this time, otherwise we shouldn't have met. Minato smiled dryly. His son is in danger, but he really can't help at all as a father, so he can only sit quietly waiting for himself to disappear. That's right. I finally broke the seal, but you two sealed him again. Yunshu's figure appeared beside the two of them. It's such a his power again. Damn humans. Kyuubi roared angrily in the cage, after sensing Yunshu's force. You belong to the Uchiha clan, so you were the one who liberated Kyuubi and attacked Konoha before we died. Minato's face became serious when he saw Yunshu's Sharingan. Damn it. Is this the guy? He actually got Kyuubi's idea again. Kukona also looked at Yunshu indignantly. Now that they have sealed the Nine Tails, there is not much chakra left. If they don't say anything, they will completely dissipate in a few minutes. Don't get me wrong, I'm just passing by. I'm just an ordinary soul master who wants to take Nine Tails away. Yunshu said something they couldn't understand. Why can't there be any life nearby except Naruto? Did you destroy the world? Kukina asked after she couldn't sense any chakra nearby. Ninjutsu of time and space, so it's understandable. Naruto and I are in a special different dimension, so don't expect someone to save Naruto. It's impossible. Yunshu said indifferently. Anyway, the chakra of these two people was about to dissipate, so Yunshu didn't hesitate to chat with them for a while. Naruto, my Naruto. Poor child. Kukina seemed unable to accept that her son was about to die at the age of 12, so she could only cover her face and kept sobbing. Time passed so slowly, and Minato and Kukina gradually disappeared in front of Yunshu. These two couples finally disappeared. Yunshu was really worried about these two people, even though they died early. If you really want to say that the strength is not inferior to that of Yunshu before, just the unsolvable flying Lei Shen, Yunshu couldn't deal with it. After all, his reflexes were not as good as others, and he had nothing to say. The 8-diagram seal. I will undo it again. Yunshu, who had left Naruto's spiritual world, once again untied the 8-diagram seal on Naruto's abdomen. Bang! Exclamation mark. This time Kyuubi didn't occupy Naruto's body because all the seals were removed and he couldn't use Naruto's body to exert his full strength at all. Damn Uchiha kid. Go to hell. As soon as Kyuubi came out, he mercilessly put a tail beast jade on Yunshu and Naruto beside him. Yunshu could only lift Naruto to avoid the blow. Then, after sending Naruto out of the Kamu space, he used Sharingan to control Kyuubi. I don't want to say anything to you now. Let's talk about it when we get to that place. Yunshu planned to cook raw rice for Nine Tails, since Nine Tails couldn't travel through the world anyway. After using the gossip seal to reseal Nine Tails into a jar, Yunshu took out all the Sharingan he had collected. Start absorbing. End of this chapter. Chapter 102, Fighting Soul. Finally back. Yunshu appeared in the dormitory of Shrek Academy, stretched himself, and then jumped onto his own bed. I haven't slept in it for so long and there is no dust. It seems that someone has cleaned it for me. Looking at the neat and clean room, Yunshu felt a little warmth in his heart. Did you absorb too much all at once? You're starting to act like a demon again. Yunshu said in pain, while covering his left eye. After merging the two Bishienjin and the Takamu, Yunshu still has 15 3-shaped jade writing sharing eyes, 2 Itachi's kaleidoscopes, and Sasuke's 2 1-shaped jade. Yunshu first upgraded his right eye to an eternal kaleidoscope with the eyes of Itachi and Sasuke, and then the left eye absorbed all the next 15 3-pointed jade. However, the left eye did not stop after being advanced to the eternal kaleidoscope and was still evolving, but this evolution is somewhat similar to the stage when Baiyan evolves into Tenseikan, and it needs to go through several fetal movements before it can be fully formed. And this evolution also has a price, that is, Yunshu's left eye is now blind, and his vision in the evolution has completely returned to zero. I don't know what it will evolve into. Will it be the Eye of Reincarnation? Yunshu secretly expected, after feeling the endless tumbling force in his left eye. By the way, try to see if the divine power is still useful. Yunshu just remembered that the divine power in his right eye doesn't know if it can be used in this world. When Shenwei was activated, a vortex appeared, and Yunshu was sucked in. You guessed wrong. Yunshu looked at this familiar place in surprise. The dark space, the endless cubes. This shit means that the pupil technique of Shenwei really created a strange place in his eyeballs space? Question mark? Although I guessed wrong, it's still a good thing. After all, no one knows about this different space, and if there is no such different space, I'm afraid the virtualization won't work. Yunshu thought to himself. Yunshu once read a fan novel before. The hero became a Buto, transformed the entire different space, and divided it into several large areas. Rest area. It is used when there is no place to rest outside, and it contains all the items at home. Work area. Used to install some generators and the like. After all, there is no sun, and no electricity in the Shenwei space. Just using the thunder tunnel to generate electricity will not exhaust you to death. In the future, you can get some soul guides to come in, and people will fight for souls. The field has already used computers, and Yunshu can also imitate it. Reception area. This is mainly a place to rest when receiving friends. This place should be far away from the rest area. After all, it would be embarrassing if a private place is seen by others. Combat zone. Except for the places mentioned above, the entire Shenwei space should be used for combat. But having said that, the time needed to transform the Shenwei space is not 1:30, and I have already returned to the world of Douluo. Of course, the focus is on cultivation. I will talk about this kind of transformation when I have time. The most urgent thing is to take a look at Xiao Wu and the others first. Yunshu took out the whirlpool mask with soil, since it's been a long time since they haven't seen each other for a long time. Then Yunshu has to test how well these guys have trained. Not at school? Yunshu searched all over the academy, but found no sign of them. Could it be in the Soul Arena? Yunshu touched his chin. That was just right. Isn't the Soul Arena a good place to fight? Just put a mark on the way there, so as to save you the trouble of traveling in the future. Thinking of this, Yunshu prepared to leave for Suocho City. As for Ninetales, let him stay in the seal for a while. Anyway, it's not the first time it's been sealed. Yunshu thought to himself. He doesn't have time to go to Stardew Forest now. Originally, he planned to sign a contract with Kyuubi and throw him in the Stardew Forest, but now he has something to do, so it doesn't matter to go later. This Wangyoucao team is definitely the strongest team we have encountered so far. Each of them has the best configuration of spirit rings. It would be great if Xiaoshu was here. His spirit can be combined with my blue silver grass. It's easier to play control. Tang San felt a little headache looking at the information in his hand. Yunshu's skills and various techniques can effectively limit the opponent's support and defense system soul masters. Although the support system will be protected by the opponent at the back, but Yunshu's hidden weapon technique combined with his martial soul can definitely be used in superpowers. Play control from a distance. There are also these two top defensive spirits. If Yunshu is on the ground, these two guys can easily fall into a deep sleep. After all, no one can resist Yunshu's no soul skills. It's a pity that Brat doesn't know what he's doing, and he doesn't see anyone all day long. The last time I saw him was 10 days ago, Dean Flender said, shaking his head. Although Yunshu had explained it to him, he still had a lot of dissatisfaction with this student who often disappeared. That brat thought we couldn't teach him, so he found another teacher? Xiao Waoqi guessed. No, in the entire Heaven Dao Empire, is there a more powerful teacher than Xiao Gang? Flender looked at the master in front of him and said. The master himself did not speak, although Tang San had heard Tang San mention this person a long time ago, and Tang San also said that he was a genius, but since he had never met him before, he was not good at judging. Okay, the game is about to start. You guys start getting ready. Oh. It turns out that the plot has progressed to this point. It seems that there are some people playing today. Yunshu looked at the Shrek 7 monsters and everyone in the Wangyoucao team on the stage. The soul fight begins. When the hostess gave an order, Daimube rushed up first. Oh. Hey. His hanging. Yunshu watched it with gusto from the audience. He had already watched it once before, but this time he watched it on the spot, so it was of course more exciting. Xiao Wu, don't go. Just when Xiao Wu was about to attack those two defense system soul masters, a familiar voice suddenly rang in Xiao Wu's ear. Xiaoshu. Is it Xiaoshu? You're finally back. Although Xiao Wu didn't speak, Yunshu heard Xiao Wu's voice. Hush, don't tell everyone when I'm back. Wait until your soul fight is over. Yunshu said to Xiao Wu again via voice transmission. soon, because they couldn't attack for a long time, and they would lose if they dragged on like this. Tang San had no choice but to activate his 8 spider spirit bones to fight, but it turned into a one-sided battle. With full firepower, no one in Tang San Hoang's fighting team could defeat them, and unfortunately all members were eliminated in the end. End of this chapter. Chapter 103, Fighting Shrek 7 Monsters. The team battle spirit is over. The Shrek 7 Monsters team won. As the host lady announced the end of the soul fighting competition, a strange figure suddenly appeared on the soul fighting field. Who is it? The host lady is also a soul master. After seeing the mysterious person who suddenly appeared on the field, she jumped off the soul tool and stood in front of the mysterious person. 7 Shrek monsters, can we fight again? The deep voice of the masked man rang in everyone's ears. Coupled with that weird whirlpool one-eyed mask, several people on the field suddenly felt a chilling feeling. Who are you? What's the purpose of coming here? Miss Dada released her 3 yellow martial spirits and stopped in front of the masked man. I don't intend to make trouble. I just want to fight the Shrek 7 monsters. The masked man's voice could not hear any emotion. So, the 7 Shrek monsters. Can they still fight? The masked man said lightly. In this soul fight, everyone in Shrek didn't suffer any injuries. It's just that their soul power was consumed too much because the opponent was too strong. I'm sorry, the Shrek 7 monsters just finished their soul fight. Yes. Dao Dao was just about to find an excuse to drive away the masked man when a firm voice sounded behind Dao Dao. Contestant Tang San. Dao Dao looked back at the masked Tang San and said in disbelief. This guy specially picks you when you are weakest to challenge you, but you dare to agree. What kind of brain circuit? Don't worry, I'm only alone. The masked man spoke again. What? You mean you want to challenge 7 of them alone? Hearing what the masked man said, Dao Dao covered his mouth and said in surprise. Even if the 7 Shrek monsters have consumed a lot of soul power, if they only deal with one person, then the 7 of them can completely kill this one challenger. Then, well, since the 7 Shrek monsters are willing to continue fighting, then I won't stop. Friends from the audience, the soul fight is not over yet. A mysterious masked man just appeared, and he wants to challenge the Shrek 7 monsters alone. Let's see if he can succeed in the challenge. Dao Dao is indeed a professional host, quickly reacted and continued to host. Oh. The audience was boiling. They used to watch one-on-one, the second team and the second team played against the team, but today there was a 1vs7 match. This feeling of watching people die made them very excited. Fire escape, blast wind flurry dance. Without further ado, Yunshu used his divine power to use this powerful fire escape ninjutsu. Not good. Little San, get out of the way. Yunshu's Bao Fenglan Wu was aimed at Tang San, and Amu Bei and others at the side quickly reminded Tang San to avoid it. Such a flame vortex. Tang San was taken aback and quickly used the blue silver grass to pull himself away from the target of the flame. Damn it, is it a soul skill? To be able to release such a powerful flame so quickly, his soul power level must be very high. Tang San was secretly shocked when he felt the high temperature flame brushing past him. Zhao Gang, he is. Dean Flender, who was watching the battle in the box, said in surprise after seeing Yunshu's ground fire escape. If there is no accident, I'm afraid it is a student of the Fire Element Academy. But what I don't understand is when Xiaozhen and the others became enemies with the Fire Element Academy, so that they would not hesitate to send a student whose strength is far superior to that of the Soul Master. The students came to challenge Xiaozhen and the others. The master looked at the people fighting on the stage and fell into deep thought. Seeing such a strong fire elemental attack, several people in the box took Yunshu as a member of the Fire Elemental Academy. It's no wonder. After all, Bakifeng Wu is a B-level fire escape, and the powerful fire that Madara used is the same level of ninjutsu. The power can be imagined. Okay, the game officially begins. The deep voice of the masked man echoed in everyone's ears. What? A game? What do you think of fighting? Damu Bei felt inexplicably upset when he heard this and replied angrily. Ninjutsu mist hiding technique. The masked man formed seals with both hands, and soon a lot of fog appeared on the fighting spirit arena. Damu Bei, Tang San, Oscar, Zhu Zuking, Zio Wu, Ningrangrong, Mahanjan. Who will be the first victim? The voices of the masked man came from all directions, making it difficult to hear the specifics. From that place. What kind of soul skill is this? It can actually cover the entire arena in fog. Everyone in the box was shocked again. Aren't you from the Fire Element Academy? How can you use this water element soul skill? I don't know. It seems that we all misjudged. The other party should not be from the Fire Elemental Academy. The 5 major Elemental Academy are all taking the path of a single attribute. It is impossible for a soul master who is a fellow practitioner of water and fire to appear. The master looked at the stage. The mist slowly fell into contemplation. Attention everyone. Such a thick fog will greatly affect our actions and vision, and if we are not careful, we will find our way out and be exploited by the enemy, so we must unify our next actions. Tang San opened the purple demon tongue, wanted to try to see if he could see through this soul ability, but it was a pity that these fogs were real, not hallucinations, so Zhi demon tongue could not see through at this stage. What? There was a scream, and one person had already been brutally murdered by the masked man. Not good. It's Hanjan. He was attacked by the masked man. Tang San exclaimed. Mahanjan was standing at the end, protecting Oscar, Ningrangrang and the others. It is easy to be broken by the opponent. It must be because of Hanjan's fire attribute. This kind of mist is just an ordinary mist, not formed by soul skills, so Hanjan's flame attack can easily dispel the mist. It seems that the other party just watched the soul fight between us and Wangyoucao Academy just now. This will be a disaster, and our soul skills will be exposed. Tang San thought to himself. He didn't expect the masked figure to compare. He took a quick step. Tang San just thought of using flames to disperse the mist, but he didn't expect the masked man to attack Mahanjan. Suddenly, a strange voice sounded in everyone's ears. What's this? It's like the sound of a bird. But these calls are so dense, it's like 1,000 birds singing at the same time. Demubei frowned. Any movement in this situation would be very unfavorable to them, which shows that the other party is already in the air, ready to attack the next person. Then, what? There was another scream, and now Demubei, who had just spoken, was also caught. Not good. From now on everyone stop talking. The other party judges our position based on our voices. Tang San finally realized at this time that the previous Mahanjan was only because the other party was afraid of his anger attribute attack, so I just remembered his position before the fog came. After all, anyone who encounters this kind of thick fog will immediately stand still, so as not to walk in front of the enemy to send him off, and the opponent took advantage of this opportunity to attack Mahanjan first. End of this chapter. Chapter 104 HMM. Everyone stop talking. The opponent judges our position based on our voice. Tang San's words rang in everyone's ears. This is the first time they encountered such an inexplicable attack. However, Yunshu did this for their own good. After all, in the upcoming all-continent advanced soul master competition, the red mist of Yaomo's soul skill was much more troublesome than Yunshu's, and it would suppress the strength of the people in the mist. Do you think I don't know where you are if you don't speak? Yunshu hid in the dark and sniggered. If he hadn't gone to the world of Naruto, he might not be able to detect it. Now Yunshu has learned with so many ninjutsu, just one or two can attract them and expose them. Water body. Yunshu separated 5 water bodies to walk through the fog. No one could see them anyway, but even if Yunshu's water body touched someone, even if he could hold it back, Yunshu would still make a sound to create opportunities for the ontology. I found him. He's here. Oscar exclaimed, and he found a figure passing by him. Come on. Little AO, get out of there. Tang San knew he had been fooled as soon as he heard Oscar's voice. How could the other party come up to deliver the head in person in such a very unfavorable situation? Obviously he heard what he said just now. The words deliberately attracted them to expose their position. What? There was another scream, and Oscar was also attacked. Damn it. How did this thick fog be created? It can't be dragged on any longer. Everyone come to me quickly. I will use blue silver grass to make a warning circle. Tang San said to the remaining 3 people. Tang San covered the area within 3 meters of himself with blue silver grass, so that even if the other party approached quietly, he could still detect it. If it wasn't because too much soul power was consumed just now, the circle for defense could be bigger. Tang San was already panting. The anxiety in his heart and the lack of soul power in his body caused his mentality to start. Some subtle changes have occurred. The 27 consecutive victories in the fighting spirit field have made this group of people very inflated. If they don't rub their sharp weapons, even if they win the next battle, they will definitely not win so easily. Not bad. A smile appeared on the corner of Yunshu's mouth, and he wanted to avoid my sneak attack so soon. However, Yunshu actually put a pot of water in it. After all, he didn't use Sharingan, swordsmanship, soul skills and soul power, but just used ninjutsu copied from Naruto world. Of course, the reason for not using soul skills is also because they are afraid of being recognized, so they will not go all out. It's really a good way to get together, but have you forgotten that I still set fire so quickly? Yunshu shook his head and thought to himself. Fire escape, Heio fireball technique. Yunshu didn't use Bao Fenglanwu anymore, and used this technique before to attack Tang San. His own wife was right in front of him, and Yunshu couldn't bear to use such a powerful technique. What if they couldn't resist? After all, they had just experienced a battle before, so it was normal for them to be a little tired. Be careful. Fireball. Tang San exclaimed. A huge fireball flew not far ahead. Unlucky. I forgot that he used flame attacks before. Tang San said helplessly, after hiding aside with the three of them. This time, he made a mistake in his judgment. The closeness of his companions could indeed prevent a secret attack, but at the same time, it also gave the other party a chance to do it all. If that was not the fireball just now, but the powerful flame vortex before, even if he could escape alone, Ningrangrang among his three teammates would definitely take this blow. Third brother, calm down. You can definitely find a way to defeat him. I believe in you. Ningrangrang encouraged Tang San from behind. I'm too impatient. Tang San let out a breath after hearing this, and began to calm down. Calm down slowly, I'll take her away first. A deep voice sounded behind Tang San. Tang San looked back. The masked man had already held Ningrangrang hostage. Rangrang. Tang San stretched out his hand weakly, forgetting the pain when the scar was healed, and they forgot that the voice would allow the masked man to directly determine their position. Just now when Ningrangrang was comforting him, the masked man took advantage of that moment to sneak up behind Rangrang, dragging Ningrangrang away from Tang San. Yunshu released his Wangyoucao. You are Yun. Ningrangrang understood Yunshu's identity when he saw this familiar spirit, and just when he was about to say Yunshu's name, Yunshu put Ningrangrang to sleep. In fact, the previous few people were like this, but those boys had suffered a heavy blow from Yunshu before going to sleep, so they uttered a scream. Mahanjan and Oscar were punched by Yunshu, while Damubei was hit by Chidori. I didn't expect us to be forced into such a mess by one person. ZHU Zuking said with a complex expression. Xiao Wu on the side had something to say, but didn't say it out because he knew Yunshu's true identity early on, but Yunshu sent it to her via sound transmission, so she wouldn't reveal it, and he wanted to take a good look at their training results during this period. Okay, the fog around us has dissipated a lot, and now the visibility has reached 3 meters away. As long as we are careful we won't be attacked. Tang San looked around cautiously and said in a low voice, the impact of Yunshu's powerful fireball explosion just now has blown away some of the fog around Tang San, but because the arena is too big, there is still some time before it completely disperses. Let's go together, Yunshu said, looking at the 5 water bodies beside him. The 5 water bodies that were separated just now were not eliminated, so now they gathered around Yunshu again. But now there were only 2 targets left on the stage, and the 5 water bodies directly attacked them. And Yunshu's main body was preparing to deal with ZHU Zuking first. After all, Tang San, the big boss, was always reserved for the decisive battle. What? 5 masked people? Tang San said in shock, seeing the masked people rushing up all of a sudden. What the hell kind of soul ability is this? Ah. A flustered voice sounded, and one person disappeared behind Tang San again. Damn it. Tang San exclaimed. Hey. I don't think I did. Taking off the mask, Yunshu showed a smirk at the corner of his mouth, and gnawed on the girl in his arms. The girl in her arms suddenly thumped. ZHU King? Yunshu was stunned suddenly. He thought that it was Xiao Wu who he hugged, but he didn't find ZHU King. Yu. End of this chapter. Chapter 105 Rewards. Zuking? Yunshu was stunned when he saw the girl in his arms clearly. ZHU Zuking was also stunned after seeing the real face under the mask. Yunshu. How could it be you? ZHU Zuking said in shock. For a moment he even forgot about being bitten just now. Actually, I wanted to test your strength, but Yunshu and ZHU Zuking explained the misunderstanding just now. It's okay not to mention it, but when it was mentioned, ZHU Zuking's face turned red suddenly, and he buried himself directly in Yunshu's arms. Okay, let me let you down first. You pretend to be dizzy first. I will fight Tang San later. Yunshu patted ZHU King on the back and said, wait. Your eyes. ZHU Zuking stared at Yunshu's blank left eye, and subconsciously stretched out his hand to touch Yunshu's side face. Temporarily blind, Yunshu held ZHU Zuking's hand on his face and said with a smile, how could it be? ZHU Zuking covered his mouth and said in disbelief, it's okay, it's just temporarily blind, and it will recover. Yunshu touched ZHU Zuking's head and then put on the whirlpool mask again. Xiao Wu. I don't think I have one. This time Yunshu took off the mask to make sure, then hugged Xiao Wu tightly and said, yeah. Xiao Wu nodded in Yunshu's arms. Hey, let's talk about other things later. I'm going to give little Sanzi some unforgettable memories. Yunshu said while patting Xiao Wu's head. Yunshu looked at the arena where only Tang San was left alone and simply lifted the fog concealment technique directly. The fog has disappeared. Tang San was startled. This also meant that the opponent no longer needed to play this kind of nonsense with him and directly fought head on. Did you just fall asleep? It's okay. Tang San breathed a sigh of relief looking at the people in the audience who were fast asleep. If you have the time to worry about others, it's better to think about how you can win first. Lei Qi. Double thunder shock. Yunshu released Lei Qi with both hands at the same time and rushed towards Tang San. Lightning. The master said in shock, looking at the blue and white lightning in Yunshu's hands. Because he was born in the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family known as the strongest attacking spirit, if he could use lightning to attack the soul skills, his martial spirit would definitely be extremely powerful, even if it wasn't the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus. Damn it. The blue silver grass can't defend against such a powerful attack at all. And there is not much soul power left, so I can only use hidden weapons. Tang San looked at the thunder and lightning in Yunshu's hands and silently opened the Zuanayu hands, and then moved his hands put it behind. Hidden weapons were originally weapons used in secret, so Tang San didn't dodge after seeing the masked man with both hands holding thunder rushing towards him, but wanted to use hidden weapons to attack before contact, and finally avoided this with the help of Ghost Shadow Fascination Fatal Blow. However, it's a pity if Tang San is facing an opponent who doesn't understand him. This trick may work, but Yunshu knows all Tang San's abilities very well. Do you want to use the godly Zhuge crossbow? Too naive. A smile appeared on the corner of Yunshu's mouth under the mask, and then he put his hands together. Bang! Exclamation mark. What? It's still possible to carry out long-range attacks. Tang San was startled when he saw the thunder and lightning that struck, and then he reacted instantly and used Ghost Shadow Fanzangu to dodge the blow. Damn it. Tang San, who came back to his senses, saw that the masked man had disappeared from his field of vision. He was startled and hastily rolled away from the place. Stab it. Xiao Gang. Can you tell what kind of martial spirit this mysterious man is? Flender looked at the mysterious man with a variety of attacking moves on the stage and fell into confusion. There is such a magical martial spirit in this world, Soul. Fire again, water again, and then thunder and lightning can be used, so should we use earth and wood next? I don't know, but being able to use so many moves, the spirit beast who used to obtain the spirit ring is definitely a very rare species, perhaps something we have never seen before. Not good. Little San is injured. Flender pointed to Tang San who was bleeding on the stage and said nervously, his palm. How could it be so sharp? Tang San looked at Yunshu's right hand and said in shock. Just now Yunshu scratched his back all at once with his right hand emitting blue light. Although the wound was not deep, but the wound was too large. He would be in a desperate situation due to excessive blood loss. Fortunately, I didn't follow the training at school. Yunshu looked at Tang San and thought to himself, there is still hope in another world, and every time he goes there, he can gain a lot. Immediately, Yunshu put away the chakra scalpel. It's over. The masked man suddenly said. What? Tang San frowned and asked suspiciously. I said the battle between us is over. The masked man's body began to sink gradually, and then completely submerged into the ground. If he continued to fight, Tang San would really be seriously injured. Tang San looked at the masked man who disappeared with a dazed expression. Cooperating with you, you came out of nowhere, to fight us, just to chop us up before you leave. Quick, Zhao gang, hurry up and take the children to treatment. After the battle was over, and Yunshu disappeared on the soul fighting arena, Flender ran down in a hurry. Hey, this is a good thing for them. Zhao gang sighed and followed along. Woohoo. Outside the fighting spirit arena, Yunshu put away his mask and black robe, changed into a normal attire, and appeared at the entrance of the fighting spirit arena. The soul power hasn't improved at all. What excuse do you have? Yunshu leaned against the wall and thought to himself. He left after saying hello to that old guy Flender, saying that his way of cultivation is more suitable for him, but now that he has been away for so long, his soul power has not improved at all, and he has even lost one eye. You slap yourself in the face. No, I have to show those old guys a hand, so they won't chase after me. Just to see what good things we got. Yunshu turned off the system's notification sound a long time ago, because if the notification sound suddenly appeared during the battle, it would easily scare him to death. Because Ning Rangrong, ZHU Zuking and Zhao Wu didn't make a move, these three didn't get any rewards, only the remaining 4 boys were awarded by the system for Yunshu to defeat them. Let me see. Mahanjan is the middle level soul power lottery ticket, a fragment X1. Yunshu looked at this reward and fell into deep thought. Is it because Mahanjan is too good at this stage? So, after all, the soul power lottery ticket is a good thing. It is simply, and add a little bit to improve it, and you can increase your soul power by lying down easily. Wait. System. How many fragments can be combined into a complete mid-level soul power lottery ticket? Yunshu suddenly remembered and asked. 10. That's acceptable. Yunshu heaved a sigh of relief. He was afraid that he would need 100. End of this chapter. Chapter 106. Ninetales then Oscar is. Soul gathering pill. Well behaved. After all, although he is a genius, he is just an auxiliary system with no fighting power. Damu Bay. Low level lottery tickets. Yunshu was overjoyed. His favorite thing was lottery. Come, system. You must give me something good today. Yunshu used the low-level lottery ticket he just got with great excitement. Ding. Congratulations on getting a Yangshan pill. Healing pill? What kind of pill is this? What's the effect? Yunshu asked the system 3 times. Healing pill. After complete refining, it will increase spiritual power. Improve spiritual power. This is good. Yunshu said pleasantly. Douluo world also has the saying of spiritual power, but it is very difficult to improve, that's all. Only Tang San can cultivate from a young age, and most people can't. It can only become stronger with the improvement of the level of soul power. After all, the improvement of soul power is all round. Then, in the end, Tang San's reward is intermediate spirit power lottery tickets. Great. Zheng Chao can't explain it. Now it's alright, and the improvement of soul power can give those guys an explanation. Yunshu said excitedly, hammering his palms. You sit and see how many levels you can get. Ding. Congratulations for winning a level 1.3 soul power. Improving. Ding. The upgrade was successful. Current soul power level 36. It's so. It's enough to stop those guys' mouths, and my soul power has already reached level 35, and now it has been superimposed by 1.3. It seems that with the soul gathering pill, I can reach level 37 soon. Yunshu touched his chin. He felt that his soul power was not slow to improve. It has been more than a month, since I went to Naruto World, and my soul power has increased by almost 2 levels in this month. Others have worked so hard for training and fighting spirits, so it is not as good as Yunshu's improvement. It's fast. It's different to have a system. Yunshu understood such an obvious truth when he first got the system. Oh, did you finally come out? Yunshu looked at the gate of the fighting spirit field, and a group of people were walking out supporting each other. In fact, only male compatriots were injured. Yunshu couldn't bear to lay hands on his sister. Little tree. Xiao Wu flew into Yunshu's embrace in an instant. You brat. You still know how to come back. Flender said angrily. Isn't this a success in cultivation? Why don't you come back and make a fuss? Yunshu pretended to be proud and said. Successful? How successful? Flender said dissatisfiedly, as if he looked down on the special training Yunshu mentioned. Don't be surprised when you say it. I'm already level 36. Yunshu said sarcastically. TCH. It's only level 36. After you left, the third brother has raised a total of 3 levels. Mahanjan said in disbelief. His relationship with Yunshu was not very good. Because I didn't have much contact with him at first, and Yunshu asked for leave, because of the start of school, which actually made me, and others a little dissatisfied. But it doesn't matter to people like Oscar who have a good temper. But because of the evil fire in his body, Mahanjan's temper is a little irritable, so he is a little unhappy with Yunshu. So this is also the reason why Yunshu was the first to deal with this fat man, not because his flame would threaten the technique of fog concealment. It's not that things like fog can't be made anymore. Fatty, Xiaoshu is the same age as me, so you're saying that I'm no good? Tang San said speechlessly. Yunshu was already level 36, and he was only level 32, yet Fatty still used him and Yunshu trees for comparison. I'm sorry third brother. Mahanjan covered his mouth and said in embarrassment. Okay, little monsters. Let's go back to the academy first. Flender saw that it was somewhat inappropriate for so many people to hold up at the entrance of the soul fighting arena, so he called everyone to leave here. Xiaoshu, I met an opponent yesterday, and he is very powerful. The next day, Tang San specially found Yunshu, and then told him about the battle with that mysterious man yesterday. So, what do you want to express? Yunshu didn't know how to answer. He couldn't just tell him that the person was me. Seeing that Yunshu had no interest in what he said, Tang San felt a little helpless. There are people out there, even if you get beaten up by a brat one day, don't be surprised. Maybe he's even more talented than you. Yunshu didn't know how to answer it, so he replied casually said a word. You're right. The teacher gave us 2 months to rest. How are you going to spend these 2 months? I'm going to go home and have a look. Cultivate with peace of mind for a while. As for the home side, you can help me deal with it. I don't know when it will end. Yunshu thought for a while and said, neither the gathering soul pill nor the Yangshan pill is the kind of medicine that will give immediate results after eating it. It needs to be refined to be effective, but I don't know how long it will take. Yunshu is afraid that he will not have time to refine it in the future, so he plans to dispose of these 2 pills within these 2 months. Eat it and refine it. After Tang San left, Yunshu took out the Yangshan pill, put it in his mouth without any hesitation, and swallowed it directly. A month later. I didn't expect the effect of this Yangshan pill to be so powerful. Yunshu, who had completely refined the Yangshan pill, said in surprise, after feeling the strength of his spirit. Calculated according to the level of spiritual power, although his soul power is only level 36 now, his mental power has already reached the level that a level 50 soul power should have. The next thing is the soul gathering pill. Yunshu took out the soul gathering pill and swallowed it. Although this pill does not need to be refined and absorbed, it needs to be combined with cultivation to produce its effect. After all, the effect of this pill is only slightly, it's just to increase the speed of soul power improvement. The effect of the soul gathering pill was only for 12 hours, and Yunshu woke up early the next morning. The effect of the soul gathering pill had ended, and the next step was to get down to business. Yunshu is going to the Stardow Forest to release Ninetales. As to why he is far away in the Stardow Forest, it's because of Damming and Erming. They are both giant beasts. They both hate humans, and they are also hunted down by humans. Yunshu thought that if he put Ninetales with damning Erming, maybe Ninetales would like it there. After all, they are both Shire beasts, so maybe they can live in harmony with the two beasts. After all, Ninetales looks evil, but that's just for those greedy humans. Ninetales in the play is still very arrogant. Rangrang, is Xiao here? Yunshu came to the girls' dormitory and saw Ning Rangrang, who was chatting with Tang San. Xiao Wu. Ning Rangrang called into the room. Here we come. Xiao Shu. Are you done training? Xiao Wu said excitedly after seeing Yunshu. Okay. End of this chapter. Chapter 107 Contract. Well, I came to you because I need your help. Yunshu pulled Xiao Wu to a place where no one was around. Xiao Shu, what are you doing? Why do you have to say something here? Xiao Wu blushed and said shyly after seeing Yunshu bring him here. Yunshu, are you thinking about something unclean? Xiao Wu, I need you to accompany me back to the Stardow Forest. Yunshu began to explain the reason to Xiao Wu. After all, he wanted to go with Xiao Wu. You mean you caught a super big fox? Where is it? Xiao Wu looked at Yunshu curiously and said. Yunshu didn't take out the sealed jar. Unsealing Ninetales here would directly destroy the entire Shrek Academy. I'll show you after I go to the Stardow Forest and more. I want to give you a mark first. Before this, Yunshu had already stamped everyone he knew, and it was very convenient to go anywhere after having the stamp. This is Star Lake. Yunshu looked at the big lake in front of him and sighed. Boom, boom, boom. Soon, a huge monster came in front of Yunshu and the others. Miss Wu, why did you bring a human here? Titan Giant Ape said with some dissatisfaction. Humans are the ones they hate the most. Erming, let me tell you. Xiao Wu jumped to Erming's ear after seeing Erming, not knowing what she was talking to him. Yunshu ignored her and took out the jar that sealed Ninetales. The 8 trigram seal. I'll undo it again. Yunshu tied the seal with both hands and untied the seal of Ninetales. Bang! Exclamation mark. Roar. Archer, his hateful kid. What the hell is this place? Kyuubi said solemnly. It was fine when it was sealed into the jar and it could communicate with other tailed beasts inwardly, but after an unknown period of time, it suddenly couldn't contact other tailed beasts. Wow. Xiao Shu, this fox is so big. Xiao Wu standing on Erming's hand said in surprise when she saw the real Ninetales. Ninetales, the legendary nine-tailed demon fox? Erming and the sky blue bull python Damming, who had just popped up because of the huge movement, said in shock after seeing the Ninetales behind Ninetales. Ninetales turned around when he heard the voice and was stunned. The only bull's head protruding from the water was already half the size of the azure bull python. 9 llamas. Yunshu jumped on Ninetales' head and began to introduce the world to it. Parallel world, what do you mean? Ninetales said with a confused face. The concept of parallel world has not yet appeared in the world I'm in, let alone this silly fox who has been sealed in his stomach. In other words, this is not the world you were in before. There are no sages of the 6 paths, no ninjas, and no Jinchuriki. Yunshu continued to explain. And here are giant beasts who hate humans as much as you do. Yunshu raised his eyebrows, indicating that he was referring to the 2 giant beasts behind Ninetales. You will definitely become friends. A mysterious smile appeared on the corner of Yunshu's mouth. Are you kidding? Evil brat. This must be your illusion. Ninetales roared, waving its huge claws and slapping Yunshu down. It's normal for Ninetales not to believe in this kind of thing beyond its cognition, so it is taken for granted that this is the illusion used by Yunshu, and it is too easy for the kaleidoscope to control the tailed beast. TSK, it's very annoying. Uchiha flame formation. Yunshu dodged Kyuubi's attack at once, trapped Kyuubi in the barrier, and came to Xiao Wu's side. Hey. Hello. Yunshu greeted Erming. Hello. Erming didn't expect this human child to be so familiar, and he wasn't afraid of him at all. Xiao Wu, this silly fox seems to be a little out of his mind. Now we can only temporarily trap him in the barrier. Yunshu sighed and said, Ninetales didn't have the illusion. but now it thinks it has the illusion. Yunshu couldn't explain this kind of thing. After all, how could the recipient of the spell trust the caster so easily? Not to mention that Yunshu was the most hated Uchiha of Kyuubi, although Yunshu was not. But because of the existence of Sharingan, Yunshu the tree could not refute either. After all, the most obvious feature of Uchiha is sharing eyes. Where did this nine-tailed fox come from? Damning stretched his head to Erming's side and asked towards the cloud tree in Erming's hand. Just treat him as my summoned beast, summoned from another world, but this guy has a bad temper and is not so easy to obey, so temporarily trap him in the enchantment. I originally planned to put it here with you. After all, the appearance of this guy in the human world is likely to cause riots, and this guy also hates humans very much. Hate humans? It seems that we may have a common language. Damning's eyes lit up when he heard Yunshu say that Ninetails hates humans, and he seemed to have a little interest in Ninetails. Boy, for Miss Xiao's sake, open your barrier, and I'll help you talk to it. Damning's huge python body stretched out from the water, slowly approaching the barrier. Thanks. Oh, that's right. It also has a name. It's called Nine Llamas. Seeing that Ninetails had calmed down, Yunshu released the barrier of flames that trapped him, and told Damning Ninetails' name by the way. The size of the Azure Bull Python is as huge as the 10 tails to the 9 tails, and these guys can actually talk, which means that they also have wisdom no less than human beings. By the way, actually, I have one more thing to do today. Yunshu saw that Damning went to escape the Ninetails, and was about to tell Xiaowu and Erming about the psychic. What's the matter? Xiaowu asked suspiciously. Erming, this matter needs your and Damning's help. It's about Xiaowu's safety. Yunshu became a little serious and said to the titan in front of him. Tell me, it's about Miss Xiao's safety. Brother and I are bound to be together. Erming nodded and said, I need to sign a blood contract with you, and then you can sign it with Xiaowu. Yunshu said, the contract of blood. What is it? Erming asked doubtfully. It's the psychic technique I used to summon Ninetails. In layman's terms, it's a summoning technique. After signing the contract, I can summon you anytime and anywhere, and of course you can also summon me anytime and anywhere. This kind of calling is two-way, and the summoning must be done with the consent of both parties, and it is not mandatory. I see, you could want me to be your thug. Erming saw through Yunshu's trick at a glance. You can put it that way. Yunshu scratched his head in embarrassment. End of this chapter. Chapter 108 Harvesting 3 Super Thugs. Actually, you can also say that. Yunshu said awkwardly. After all, with Shenwei, Xiaowu's comfort can already be guaranteed, but Yunshu doesn't want to give up these two super combat powers. And with Damning and Erming's help, protecting Xiaowu wouldn't be easier. HMPH. I agree. But you can't call us when Miss Xiao is fine. Only Miss Wu can call us. You can't. Erming may have met Yunshu for the first time. Shu's impression was actually not very good. After all, Yunshu was only a human being. Then sign the contract now. Erming put Yunshu down. In fact, when he heard that Xiaowu could be summoned at any time, Ermengyao had already agreed. Yunshu took out a blank scroll and began to draw spells on it with blood. In a short while, a complicated psychic formula was drawn. Come on, drip your blood on it. Yunshu placed the scroll in front of Erming. Xiaowu, you will come later. Yunshu said to Xiaowu, who was already looking a little dazed. It's a fox again. It's a contract, and it's from another world. She's in a daze now. Yunshu saw that Erming bit his finger and bleed out a drop of blood, which must be 4 to 5 liters. Yunshu reluctantly took out a jar from the storage space to catch Erming's blood, then poured a drop on the spell. Okay, next is my blood. Yunshu collected Erming's blood into the system space. This blood might be useful in the future. Immediately afterwards, Yunshu bit off his fingers, stained all 5 fingers with blood, pressed them in the space on the first line, and wrote his name in blood. Xiaowu, it's your turn. Repeat what I did just now. Yunshu placed the scroll in front of Xiaowu. Oh. Xiaowu finally came to her senses. Although she couldn't understand what was going on, she just had to follow along. Hey, Xiaoshu, I'm done. Xiaowu pushed the scroll back in front of Yunshu. Okay. I'll try to see if it works. Yunshu put away the scroll. Watch out for my next move. When the time comes, the little sister you want to summon will also make this handprint. Yunshu began to make the handprint slowly. Heizuyu Shenwei, summoning technique. After finishing the seal, Yunshu slapped the ground with one hand and shouted with the help of the blood left on his hand. Bang, bang. Erming's body disappeared from in front of him and then appeared under Yunshu again, pushing Yunshu and Xiao Wu on his head. Boy, your summoning technique is really amazing, Erming said in surprise after feeling the feeling of space movement. Okay, if you cancel the summoning, you will return to the original place. Go back to the original place first, and then you have a try. Seal to summon the two of us. Yunshu clapped his hands. Successfully obtained a 10-year super thug. Although Erming said that he didn't look like being summoned by Yunshu, but who would use psychics if it's okay, not all summoned when there is an emergency. Huh. Kid, I don't need to be your handprint to summon you, Erming said after returning to the spot, scratching his head. No need. How is it possible? Yunshu said in shock. Why can you omit the seal, and I have to seal to summon? Look. Erming closed his eyes, not knowing what he was doing, when suddenly a summoning request appeared in Yunshu's heart. This time Yunshu has nothing to say. He is a 10-year-old soul beast, which is awesome, and he can directly perform psychic communication without seals. That's right. Since there is no need to seal, let's sign damning too. Yunshu clapped his hands. Originally, he was not going to sign a contract with damning, because that guy didn't have hands, so he couldn't seal. Now it seems that they don't need seals at all to carry out psychics. Well, that's fine. Erming nodded. If both of them could be Miss Xiao Wu's guards, then she wouldn't have to worry about her safety. By the way, Xiao Wu, can you summon? Yunshu remembered Xiao Wu beside him. He was not sure that Xiao Wu could use spiritism. I'll give it a try. How did you do that handprint? I forgot. Xiao Wu said with some embarrassment. Okay, I'll teach you one more time. Take a break and write it down. Yunshu told Xiao Wu how to seal. Hey, summon. Xiao Wu slapped her bloody palm on the ground after finishing the seal. Is it really useless? Yunshu thought to himself when he saw Erming who had no reaction. He didn't have much expectations. After all, even in the ninja world there are many people who can't use ninjutsu, just like Xiaoli obviously has a very powerful chakra, but just can't use ninjutsu, which is the so-called lack of talent. It's useless. Xiao Wu stuck out her tongue and said helplessly. It's okay, Miss Wu, let this kid tell me if there is anything. Erming was also a little disappointed. Don't worry, with me protecting Xiao Wu, nothing will go wrong. Yunshu patted his chest to assure him. Soon, damning came back, bringing Kyubi who had already recognized the reality. Yo, 9 llamas. Believe it now. Yunshu said with his hands on his hips, and raised his head with a smile. HMPH. Even if I come to another world, I won't be with you. Kyubi raised her head and said arrogantly. It doesn't matter, as long as you can help out occasionally, it will be your reward for living here, and don't worry, I won't call you often. Yunshu took out the contract scroll just now. A scroll can contract multiple humans and summon beasts, just like Mount Maomu. As long as the contract is signed, any toad can be summoned, but there is a problem. If there are too many summoned beasts like Mount Maomu, that is, some summoned beasts they will not respond to your call. They think that there are too many people in the group who can call, and it will not hurt to lose one of them, so they will not agree. Damning, you come too. Yunshu pushed the scroll in front of them. Alright. The next step is to repeat the previous operation, but the Ninetales guy doesn't need to drop blood, because it is composed of pure chakra, so you only need to use the magic formula to connect with it. It's finally finished. Yunshu put away the scroll and thought with satisfaction. This scroll is probably the most valuable treasure in the entire Heavendao Empire. There are 3-level soul beasts on it. Although Ninetales is not as powerful as the soul beasts, its destructive power is far inferior to those of Damning and Erming. It only takes a few minutes to continuously release the tail beast Jade. Can destroy a city. Okay, the goal has been achieved. Let's go back to Yunshu looked at the sky. The two arrived at noon in the morning, and it's getting dark now. If they don't go back, they might have to spend the night outside. Okay. End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 109 Human Pillar Force. We are going to Heavendale City in about a month. At this time, Yunshu and Xiao Wu had already returned to Shrek. The next day, it's the second time. Yunshu covered his left eye and thought to himself, this is already the second fetal movement in Sharingan. Yunshu reckoned that there should be only 3 fetal movements, and when the next fetal movement is over, his eyes closed, it should be able to recover, and a more powerful ability can be evolved by then. Boom boom boom. Here we come. Yunshu heard the knock on the door, and ran over to open it. Zuking? Is there something wrong with coming to see me so early? Yunshu asked suspiciously. It's only past 6 o'clock, and if it wasn't for the sudden movement of Sharingan, he himself wouldn't have woken up so early. I heard from Rangrong that you finished your training and wanted to visit you, but you weren't here yesterday. Well, I went out for something yesterday. Come in and sit down. Yunshu took ZHU Zuking's hand and led her into his room. Oh, that's right. Yunshu thought about yesterday's contract and wondered whether ZHU Zuking could use spiritism. The next thing, keep it a secret for me. Yunshu smiled mysteriously at ZHU Zuking and then walked in front of her. Wait a minute. What are you doing? ZHU Zuking's face turned red when he saw Yunshu suddenly hugging him as if he had thought of something unhealthy. Divine power. A vortex appeared from Yunshu's right eye, absorbing the two of them into the divine power space. Xiao Wu had already visited the Shenwei space once when she came back yesterday, so it happened to bring ZHU Zuking in today to get used to it. This is what place? ZHU Zuking said in shock after seeing this dark world. Strictly speaking, this is inside my eyes, Yunshu said solemnly and then pointed to his right eye. What a magical place. ZHU Zuking pushed Yunshu's unconscious hands away, then walked to the edge of the cube and looked into the distance. Be careful not to fall. This cube is about tens of meters high, Yunshu said to ZHU Zuking. Okay, don't look at it. There will be opportunities in the future. I have something serious to tell you when I come here. Yunshu pulled ZHU Zuking to his side. The art of psychic. Bang! Exclamation mark. Little ghost. Didn't you tell me not to call me if there is no urgent matter? Kyuubi's annoyed voice came from the smoke under their feet. This is a soul beast. Such a big soul beast. ZHU Zuking said in shock after seeing the 9 tails under his feet after the smoke cleared. No, it's important. Yunshu jumped down with ZHU Zuking in his arms and came in front of 9 tails. I want this girl to sign a contract with you. Protect her when she is in danger. Yunshu pointed to ZHU Zuking beside him. Heh, there's another one. In your human's terms, what's your name? You eat it in the bowl. Look at the pot, right? Jiuhui taunted ZHU Zuking who was beside Yunshu. Believe it or not, I will seal you into the jar again. Yunshu's face darkened and he jumped on Jiuhui's nose and said viciously, HMPH. Just this time, not the next one. Jiuhui stretched out a finger and placed it in front of ZHU Zuking. Little girl, stretch out your fist and punch me. Don't worry, don't be afraid. This fox is at some deer. You'll know it after getting along for a long time. Yunshu rubbed ZHU Zuking's beautiful hair. After all, she was only a girl about 12 years old. It's normal to be afraid. The last time I saw you the Titan Great Ape has never been this close. How the moment one person and one beast came into contact, Kyuubi's size instantly shrunk by a third. What's wrong with 9 tails? Yunshu said in surprise. HMPH. This girl is different from you. She has no chakra in her body and cannot use summoning techniques, so I can only store a part of my chakra in her body. When there is danger, that chakra will explode. Protect her. If the other party is too strong, I will tell it to me after my chakra is exhausted. I will come forward at that time. Kyuubi said, very annoyed. After 12 years of hard work, he finally recovered the original amount of chakra, and now he has given out 1/3 of it all at once. Thank you. Nine-tailed fox. ZHU Zuking said seriously, after feeling the sudden huge energy in his body. This guy's name is Jiu Lama. Yunshu whispered in ZHU Zuking's ear. 9 llamas. Thank you. ZHU Zuking once again shouted at Ninetails. Humph. Bang. Ninetails snorted arrogantly, then disappeared straight away, returning to the Stardao Great Forest. I told you. This guy looks scary, but he is actually a very arrogant fox. Yunshu said with a smile. I don't think it's scary. It looks very cute. ZHU Zuking said surprisingly. Yunshu remembered that ZHU Zuking's martial soul was a cat. Although foxes and cats were not the same species, they had similar appearances, so she might have a good impression of this kind of animals after all. The Stardao Great Forest at this time. Because of the Ninetails chakra in ZHU Zuking's body, ZHU Zuking's voice came from Ninetails' ears. Humph. What's the matter, third child? Daming asked in confusion, after seeing Ninetails lying on the side of Xinghu not only getting smaller in size, but also coldly snorting, very unhappy. It's nothing. I met an interesting little guy. Okay, now if I'm not by your side, someone will be able to protect you. Yunshu's salty hand reached ZHU Zuking's head again this time. Yunshu found himself more and more fond of killing people by touching their heads. That's right. I have to give you a mark. Yunshu incidentally put a mark of divine power on ZHU Zuking's neck. It's great to meet you. ZHU Zuking silently walked in front of Yunshu and hugged Yunshu. Yunshu thought of ZHU Zuking's life experience. He was indeed a poor person. This kind of strange family would just imitate the weasel and kill them if they were placed on Yunshu. Okay, let's go back. This will be our home from now on. Yunshu turned on Shenwei again and teleported the two of them back to the school dormitory. HMPH. I said, why did you disappear early in the morning? So you secretly went on a date behind my back. As soon as the two of them arrived at the dormitory, they heard a joking voice from the side. Zio Wu. The two exclaimed. ZHU Zuking quickly let go of Yunshu's hand and left Yunshu's room blushing. Hey. Yunshu smiled and walked to Zio Wu's side and hugged Zio Wu. I helped her sign a contract with the 9 llamas so that if something happens in the future, they can protect you when I'm not around. Yunshu said quietly, holding Zio Wu. Are you leaving again? Zio Wu said with dissatisfaction when she left Yunshu's embrace after hearing what Yunshu said. No, I won't be leaving for a while. Yunshu thought about leaving, but he didn't think of a place to go unless he could draw abilities from other worlds in the future. End of this chapter. Chapter 110 Departure. A month passed quickly. Today is the day when Shrek moves to Heavendale City. Sana, did you come up with anything good? Yunshu looked at Tang San, who had been in retreat for 2 full months, and raised his eyebrows and said, of course there is. Look. Tang San took out a weapon called the Godly Zhuge crossbow from under his crotch. Third brother, what kind of strange thing is this? Oscar on the side immediately became interested when he saw the never before seen thing Tang San took out and ran to Tang San's side to look at it and touch it. This thing, I call it the Godly Zhuge crossbow. Tang San began to introduce the power and function of the Godly Zhuge crossbow. Wow. Is it really that powerful? Ning Rang Grang looked at the divine crossbow in Tang San's hand and said in surprise. Zio Shu, why is this thing so similar to the thing called the pistol you gave me? Zio Wu asked Yunshu in a low voice after seeing the Godly Zhuge crossbow in Tang San's hand. She had also tested the power of the pistol. Yes, because the power is too great, Zio Wu always feels that it will hurt Cheyenne, and this is the weapon Yunshu gave her to protect herself, so Zio Wu didn't show it to others. Do they look like it? Yunshu was taken aback. Apart from the fact that both of these two things have handles and need to be fired by pulling the trigger, the appearance is not exactly the same. At least there is a difference of 1,000 miles. Isn't it like? Zio Wu asked back. It's just that the function is about the same. Even if the power of the pistol is shot head on, people with weak reflexes will not be able to dodge it. This Godly Zhuge crossbow can only be used by surprise. If people know its function, There is nothing to be afraid of. Yunshu explained. In the later stage, Tang San and Oscar shot each other with a divine crossbow and didn't hurt the opponent even a little. The fire rate of this thing is not good, not as fast as a pistol. So that's the case. Xiao Wu nodded. However, we can play with this thing, and it doesn't cost money anyway. Yunshu patted Xiao Wu's head and said, Sana, what you said is so powerful. Did you prepare some for us? Yunshu walked forward with a smile. He also wanted to try this thing. After all, the more weapons there are, the more attack methods there will be. Of course, I prepared one for each of you. Tang San immediately took out 7 godly's huge crossbows from his crotch. Yeah. Little San, you're really interesting. Oscar hurried over and picked up a godly's huge crossbow, playing with it in his hands. Right, and this. Tang San took out some flying claws and handed them to everyone. Little San, what is this for? Daimyo took the flying god claw and asked curiously. Since it's called the flying god's claw, it must be related to the sky. Yunshu put on the flying god's claw and pointed at a big tree not far away. Call out! Exclamation mark. Look out! Yunshu controlled the rope to retract and was instantly pulled to the big tree that had been impenetrable. How do you know the purpose of this item? Tang San said in surprise. This is the first time he made this item, and he has never heard of it or seen it before. Hey, how long have we been together? I know what you are going to fart as soon as you stick your butt. Yunshu put away his claws and jumped down and said, but be careful when using it. This flying god claw has weight requirements if it's too heavy. Tang San looked at Mahanjan at the side when he said this. What happens if it's too heavy? Mahanjan said hastily. Are you a pig? Of course the heavy rope will break. Yunshu said speechlessly. That's right. So you have to lose weight, fat man. Tang San patted Mahanjan on the shoulder and said. Got it. Mahanjan said with a sad face. Okay, you have also rested for 2 months, and then we will speed up. Dean Flender took Xiao Gang away after opening his wings. If you want the rest of the money for food and accommodation, you don't have to toss our rolled bones like this. Sol Emperor Yusang shook his head and said speechlessly. How do you plan to go? Are you going to my Shenmue space? Or should I take you flying? Yunshu walked to a deserted place and turned around to look at the 2 girls following him. Go inside. I don't want to drive such a long distance. Xiao Wu held ZHU Zhuking's hand and said after thinking about it. ZHU Zhuking on the side also nodded. Alright then. Yunshu put his hand on the shoulders of the 2 and then a vortex sucked them in. Huh. Where are Xiao Wu and Zhuking? When Yunshu came back, the rest of them looked at Yunshu who was alone and asked suspiciously. They'll go there first. Let's go too. Yunshu said and spread his wings. I'm so envious of you. You actually have winged spirit bones. Mahanjan and Daimyo said bitterly looking at the snow white wings behind Yunshu. Haha, good luck. Let's go. Yunshu watched the meat Oscar's sausage and their wings fluttered and followed Flender and the others. After traveling all day, Flender, a stingy fellow, finally let everyone rest in the evening. Yunshu didn't care. After all, his external spirit bone didn't consume much spirit power, and he learned to with the breathing method. He can easily control his breathing, thereby reducing physical exertion. I'll go pick up Xiao Wu and the others. They should be here soon. Yunshu casually found an excuse to leave a few people, and then entered the Shenmue space in a place where no one was around. Yo, it's well cleaned up. Yunshu raised his eyebrows and said as he looked at the house in front of him. During the 1-month rest period, Yunshu has actually been putting various building materials and furniture into the Shenmue space, just to transform it into his secret base in the future. If we had known that you put so many things in it, we would have let you take it with you. Xiao Wu stared at Yunshu and said resentfully. Did you put us in on purpose, to let us organize these things for you? ZHU Zhuking also said angrily. How could it be? I planned to assemble these things myself when I was free. Yunshu said hastily. Okay, we've arrived at the resting place. Are you going to come out? Yunshu talked about the business. Of course I have to go out. I'm exhausted after a busy day. Okay, let's go. Hey, I'm back. Yunshu returned to the crowd with Xiao Wu and ZHU Zhuking. Hey, how did you come here? Ning Rangrang asked curiously. She didn't expect to see them leave first. Hey, keep it secret. Xiao Wu and Zhu Zuking looked at each other and said with a smile, because Yunshu told them to keep it secret, so they would never tell others about it. HMPH. Ning Rangrang snorted coquettishly with her hands on her hips. End of this chapter. Chapter 111 Sharingan Evolution. What's the matter today? On the way to Sharingan Academy, Yunshu asked a few people looking listless. Yunshu didn't participate in yesterday's killing battle because the souls of the group battles are all in a team of 7, so Yunshu is equivalent to an extra 1. Yesterday, though, let's not talk about it. Oscar waved his hand, thinking about that scene. He was going to throw up again. They used the godly Zuch crossbow yesterday, and they didn't sleep well at night. That's why they did this. Tang San said lightly. What about you? Last night you disappeared again. Tang San asked doubtfully. Going for a massage. Yunshu waved his hand and said point in fact, he went to the Shenwei dimension and cleaned up the things inside. Tang San was speechless. Children, quicken your pace. You should be able to reach the Heaven Dao Royal Academy today. Flender shouted in front of the team. Let's go. Yunshu patted Tang San's shoulder. This is Sharingan Academy. Everyone came to the entrance of the academy, but they didn't recognize it because the academy was too big. The whole mountain belongs to Sharingan Imperial Academy. At this time, Ning Rangrang came out and explained. How much will it cost? Flender sighed silently looking at the academy in front of him. Stop. What are you doing? Just as everyone was about to enter the academy, a group of hardies came over and said disdainfully. We are Shrek Academy. We are here to communicate at the invitation of your Sharingan Royal Academy. Let's lead the way. Come to our academy to communicate? Just you poor ghosts? The leader Harper's words immediately angered everyone in Shrek. Afterwards, Harper was severely beaten. Everyone was also led into the academy by Kinming, who came behind. Just as Yunshu followed the crowd to the academic affairs office of the college, Yunshu's left eye suddenly had a strange movement. A sharp pain suddenly appeared in his left eye. Yunshu staggered and nearly fell. Xiaoshu, what's wrong with you? Xiao Wu suddenly asked at the side when she noticed Yunshu's abnormality. What's wrong? Everyone heard Xiao Wu's words, turned around and found Yunshu, who was trembling and covering his left eye. It's okay. I might need to leave first. Yunshu said, spread his wings, and flew away from Sharingan Academy, ignoring everyone's obstruction. Xiaoshu, is he okay? Xiao Wu and Zhu Zuking looked at each other, feeling a little uneasy in their hearts. They had never seen Yunshu in such a miserable state. Don't worry, Xiaoshu should have succeeded in cultivation, and suddenly broke through the bottleneck. Tang San came to the two of them and said, he also practiced the pupil technique, and he also knew about Yunshu's left eye, so he probably saw it. The change of Yunshu's eyes. Outside Heaven Dao City, Yunshu was looking at his left eye in the reflection by a river. The original golden kaleidoscope pattern has completely disappeared, and the only eye has turned into a blue circled eye. This is 6-hook jade reincarnation eye. Yunshu looked at his left eye in the reflection in surprise. He thought it was the limit, to be able to evolve to the reincarnation eye, but he didn't expect it to be Gaoyu's reincarnation eye, which is even better than the reincarnation eye. Then, the pupil technique of this eye is Huo Lan Jiang Zunan. Gao Huang Chanling Zun? Isn't Gao Huang Xingling's a Tao style technique? Yunshu said in surprise. Gao Huang Chanling Zun can absorb the enemy's attack, and then increase it, before hitting it back. But there are some things that cannot be absorbed, such as physical skills and weapon strikes. And Huo Lan descended. Yunshu didn't know how to describe this technique. Although there was fire in the name, this technique had nothing to do with fire at all. It was of the space system. From the current point of view, Yunshu found that in addition to intercepting part of the space to seal, of course the seal is also in the eyes of his reincarnation, and it seems that other things can be done, but because he just obtained it, he is not familiar with it. But fortunately, it has everything that the eye of Samsara should have. Yunshu sighed. Repulsive force, gravitational force, earth explosion star, sealing technique suction, and reincarnation are not lacking, but because Yunshu does not have the 6 paths technique, He cannot learn the abilities of the original Nagato, except the Hungry Ghost Way and the Way of Heaven. Yunshu almost knew why his Liugao Samsurai had 2 spells. Gao Huang Xinglings and should have the ability of the Samsurai, while Huo Lan Jiangzhen was the ability of his Liugao Samsurai. Okay, the eye evolution is complete. Find something to test the ability of this eye. Yunshu narrowed his eyes. The vision of the left eye has recovered, and it is even better than before. And Liugao reincarnation, the eyes are not closed like Sasuke, and can only be kept open to consume chakra. Hey, he's still a little brother. Yunshu was just about to fly back to Huangdao Academy when a few laughing voices came from the woods behind him. You guys, what's the matter? Yunshu squinted his eyes. There are people staring at him in this ghost place. It seems that the visitor is not kind. Little ghost, hand over your storage soul guide, and we will let you go. The head of the strong man wearing a ghost mask said in a bad tone. How did you guys follow me? Yunshu was very curious. He flew all the way here, and the other party could never predict the future, so he came here to guard himself. Hehe. To be honest, I like little brother's sister Wing very much. The woman wearing a fox mask behind the strong man said with a coquettish smile. Yunshu's face gradually darkened. If he wants his own soul bone, he must kill himself to release the soul bone. Originally, I only intended to teach you a lesson, but now that you risk your own death, you can't blame me. Yunshu blinked and opened the newly evolved Liugao reincarnation eye. I just wanted to find a soul beast to try my new pupil technique, but I didn't expect someone to come to my door so soon. Wangxiang Shianayan. Yunshu stretched out his right hand, imitating Nagato's tone, and yelled out this second-degree explosive words. What kind of soul skill is this? The people in front exclaimed, but their bodies flew towards Yunshu uncontrollably. When they were about to fly in front of them, Yunshu shouted again, Shenluo Shanzeng. Bang! Exclamation mark. A huge repulsive force squeezed the few people who were still flying towards Yunshu in front of them due to inertia, until they vomited blood, and then knocked them into the air again. Forgive me. Let me go. I don't dare anymore. The strong man with fairly good physical fitness did not faint after bearing the blow, and quickly knelt on the ground after landing. He kowtowed towards Yunshu without stopping. Yunshu nodded. It really is very convenient to use, and it's powerful. Thank you. Seeing Yunshu nodding, the man hurriedly thanked him. Hold head high. Yunshu looked at the man suspiciously. You thank me if I want to kill you? What? Didn't you spare me? The strong man said in shock. Did I say that? Forget it. You're just a bunch of trash anyway. Earthblast star. End of this chapter. Chapter 112, mopping up the immortal grass. After experimenting with the eyes of reincarnation, Yunshu felt very nice. After tidying up the traces of the battle here, Yunshu left here and went to Shiandao City. Little did he know that a mysterious figure was staring at him not far from Yunshu. Hey, what a pity. Yunshu sighed. After disposing of the dross, he was going to lick a bag, but when he untied the earth explosion star, he found that everything including people and things had been squeezed into dregs. Huh? Why did you come out? Yunshu came to the crowd and said in a pretense of confusion when he rushed to Shiandao City. Little tree, you're alright. Several people said in surprise after seeing Yunshu. After all, the way Yunshu left before was a bit scary. Well, the eyes have also recovered. Yunshu blinked his left eye and gave everyone a shock. Oscar and Mahanjan made a disgusted look when they saw Yunshu put it on. Great. Xiao Wu and Zhu Zuking came to Yunshu's side and hugged Yunshu's arms from left to right. This kid. I really enjoy it. Flender and the master looked at each other and said with a helpless smile. Where are you going? Yunshu continued to ask. Although he knew it, he couldn't just tell them to go to Lanbei. The principal decided to reopen Shrek Academy. But before that, we need to find a place to stay. Walking on the streets of Shiandao City, Xiao Wu and Yunshu explained. Oh, so that's the case. Yunshu nodded and followed behind everyone. System. Show me what I got for killing those 5 guys. Yunshu followed them and began to check what he got for solving the 5 robberies. The first one is called Liu Yamin. It should be that strong man. It's soul gathering pill. The strength of those guys should be around the level of Soul Venerable. Yunshu thought to himself after seeing the reward. The chances of getting the soul gathering pill in the end are quite high. Then Fifi-san, it should be that disgusting femme fatale. Yunshu cursed inwardly. This guy's also a soul gathering pill. The rewards for the other 3 people are actually the same. 3 stasis removing pills. After tidying up his things, Yunshu followed a few people to the advertisement for recruiting teachers and students of Lanba Academy. Everyone took off the recruitment advertisement and came to the Lanba Academy run by Liu Lang. Oh, I haven't eaten all day. I'm starving to death. In the evening, everyone who had discussed college affairs came to New Shrek's cafeteria. The plot is still the same as before. Liu Lang gave the academy to Flender after learning that everyone was bullied by Sharingan Academy and even changed it to Shrek Academy. Little San, go for a walk with me. Yunshu and Tang San just took a bite when Yunshu and Tang San were called out by Unyielding gang. Hey, I don't understand what the master is thinking. Yunshu said speechlessly. Kids, what do you know? Flender said, glaring at Yunshu. Hey, Dean, you don't understand this. Yunshu hugged ZHU Zuking beside him with his left hand, and Zio Wu who was beside him with his right hand. Since you like being together, it's fine. Life is too short, why not give it a try? Yunshu shook his head. His ideas were different, so Yunshu didn't plan to persuade them. Just take care of himself. Oh, if only Zio Gang thought so too. The dean sighed and said sullenly. Soon, the news of Tang San's disappearance also spread to everyone's ears, and Yunshu was thankful that he had left a mark of divine power on Tang San before, and could go to Douluo's ice and fire Yanai according to the mark. Fortunately, I stamped Tang San's body in advance. Hey, Douluo, you old poison, I'm not welcome with your fairy grass. The space distorted for a while, and Yunshu disappeared into the room. Is this the ice and fire yin yang eye? It really is a special place. Yunshu appeared here wearing a mask. Although he knew that Tang San was absorbing the medicinal power of the fairy grass at this time, Yunshu was still a little safer and put on the whirlpool mask to prevent being recognized by Tang San. It seems that he is really absorbing the power of the medicine inside. Seeing that Tang San was not here, Yunshu knew that he should be in the eyes of Binghuo Liangai right now. Yunshu began to sweep up the medicines here. As long as there were duplicates, Yunshu took them all without missing a beat. Of course, Yunshu near the Binghuo Liangai did not choose to do it. In the spring, it will be bad if it is exposed after passing by. The second is that the fairy grass there is too close to the eyes of ice and fire, and even touching it, such as star anise ice grass and raging fire apricot, requires special methods. Yunshu didn't know how to gather herbs, so he didn't want to destroy those immortal products. And in order to prevent Tang San from having an accident tomorrow morning, the fairy grass Yunshu Tang San selected in the original work did not do anything. If Tang San died, then Tang Heo might come and tear down Shrek Academy. A bountiful harvest. Beautiful. After picking nearly 30 celestial grasses, Yunshu left here. This place is not suitable for human habitation. Except for those who have taken the fairy grass like Tang San, or those who are highly poisoned like Douluo. Otherwise the cold and heat there will cause a lot of damage to the body. Yunshu didn't want to die young, so he left after collecting the fairy grass. Fighting. Yunshu, who had just left, sensed the fluctuations of the battle nearby. If nothing else happens, it should be Douluo and the teachers. Yunshu squinted his eyes and finally decided to take a look. After all, Yunshu wanted to try it a long time ago because of the strength of the title Douluo. So Yunshu put on the vortex mask again, put on the fire cloud robe of the Zio organization, and rushed to the place where the battle wave was emitted. Hey, is this the strength of title Douluo? When he came to the scene, Yunshu looked at the battle between the two sides and sighed. However, this kind of thing is useless to me. Yunshu opened the 6 Gao Jade Reincarnation Eye, looked at Douluo's Jade Scaled Snake Emperor and said softly, his Gao Huangchenlings and should be able to absorb such an attack and then rebound. Who? Get the hell out of here. Douluo raised his hand and hit the tree, where Yunshu was hiding with a poisonous kung fu. What? There are still people. The golden iron triangle looked in shock at the place not far away being attacked by Douluo, probably because they were too focused on fighting, and they didn't realize that someone was peeping at them from the dark. After all, it's a battle with title Douluo. If you still doppelganger at this time, you will be doomed if you are not careful. As expected of a title Douluo, he was able to discover my existence. One must know that Yunshu hid in the tree's torso with the illusion of divine power, and only half of his head was exposed, which could be sensed by Douluo. It's actually you. The master and Flender exclaimed in shock after seeing this familiar outfit. Boss Fu, Zio Gang, do you know each other? Liu Erlang asked suspiciously. When we were still in Soto City, this guy single-handedly defeated all the Shrek 7 devils in the Great Solar Arena in Soto City. The master said with a gloomy face. What? One person defeated 7 people. End of this chapter. Chapter 113. What? He defeated the entire 7 Shrek monsters by himself? Liu Erlang said in shock. The 3 parties came to a sudden stalemate like this, and the golden iron triangle looked at the 2 sides cautiously, because the people on both sides were unfamiliar and were enemies. The masked man transformed by Yunshu kept staring at Douluo. His purpose was to fight Douluo. But Douluo stood there proudly. He didn't seem to care that the side attacked first, or both sides attacked together. He is a titled Douluo after all. Yunshu wouldn't use the fog concealment technique to attack this time. The titled Douluo's sense of hearing was obviously better than his own. If he really wanted to do that, he would be in a cocoon. Art fire escape ho fireball. Yunshu first sent a big fireball to test Douluo. It's this weird fire elemental attack again. The master watching from the side frowned when he saw Yunshu, the place where the fireball came out. Zio Gang. What do you mean? The 2 people beside him asked doubtfully. Haven't you found out where did this fireball launch from? The master said slowly. According to what you said, it seems, if there is no mask, he should have spit it out of his mouth. Spitting out flames, is this still a human? Liu Erlang said in shock. HMPH. Do you think this kind of rubbish attack is useful to me? Douluo waved his hand, and Heio's fireball was blown away. You have to fall him to the ground. Yunshu narrowed his eyes. His martial spirit and swordsmanship are almost at the level of Soul Sect, which cannot be effective against title Douluo, and with the teacher from Shrek Academy here, he can't use it either, so he can only use it against such a powerful person. Mystery and enchantment. Shu body. Yunshu suddenly separated several water bodies to hide his body. Clone soul skills. It's really surprising. Judging from the strength this guy has shown, he is at least a Soul King. The master said in surprise, after looking at Yunshu's soul skills. I really don't know how this guy hides his strength. Could it be his special equipment? Flender pushed his glasses and looked at Yunshu's fire cloud robe and whirlpool mask. But, just the Soul King, it's impossible to deal with such a nasty guy as Douluo. Liu Erlang said doubtfully. I don't know the true strength of this guy, but it seems that he hasn't given his full strength yet, so let's take a closer look. The master said quietly. A group of water bodies began to rush towards Douluo standing on the tree. Yunshu's body took advantage of the chaos and sneaked into the ground. As long as Douluo landed, Yunshu would be able to disgust him. Yunshu itself is inherently invincible. HMPH. It's a small trick. Douluo looked at the several cloud trees rushing towards him and wiped out all the cloud trees in an instant with a wave of the poisonous mist. You have no guts. You don't even have the qualifications to let me use soul skills. Douluo saw through Yunshu's hiding place at a glance and said disdainfully to Yunshu. Yunshu, if it weren't for the inconvenient use of Susanoo, I'd beat you to death if I went up. Yunshu secretly heard Douluo's words and wished he could drive up a Gundam and bombard Douluo on the spot. Okay, since you won't come down, it's a big deal to spend a little more energy. Yunshu looked at Douluo on the tree and squinted his eyes. Cirrus Hellfire. Turn those who resist into ashes. The first soul skill. Karmic Flame Array. Yunshu stretched out his right hand. Flames emerged from his palm, and then he slapped the ground with one hand, forming a huge barrier of scarlet flames appeared in an instant, and locked Douluo and Yunshu inside. What? This huge flame barrier is actually only the first soul skill. The master outside the barrier said in shock after hearing Yunshu's words. As we all know, the higher the ranking, the weaker the power of the soul ability, unless the strength is very strong, reaching the level of a titled Douluo like Douluo. Otherwise the first soul ability is basically a small skill. Yunshu's pretentiousness directly calmed down the 4 people present, and even Douluo became a little cautious when looking at Yunshu, after seeing the huge flame barrier. Judging from the 2 attacks just now, Yunshu should have been hiding his clumsiness just now, and now is his real strength. Why, are you too scared to go up? Yunshu's voice under the mask became a little playful. HMPH. Trapping us together with an enchantment would be your most stupid act. Haven't you noticed that the surroundings are already full of poisonous fog? Douluo said with a sneer. Oh. Thing done breakthrough. Yunshu flicked his left hand seal and his right hand, and a gust of wind appeared, blowing up all the poisonous mist around him. The breakthrough and big breakthrough of Fengden were brought by Yunshu from Orochimaru. Yes, I didn't expect it to be really useful. There is a gap on the top of the Uchiha flame formation, but it is too high. It must be hundreds of meters, so generally those without the ability to fly cannot get out. Wind. Douluo squinted his eyes. He saw that Yunshu could summon a hurricane at will. His poisonous mist is most easily restrained by the wind. After all, no matter how poisonous mist you are, if you can't inhale it, you won't be poisoned up. Is there any other moves? If not, I'm ready to do it. Yunshu's playful voice came from the mask. In fact, he just wanted to see if he could get rewards from Douluo. Speaking of it, it is almost impossible to tell the winner without playing for a few hours, so Yunshu had to start messing with his mentality. If he could split open, then Yunshu would be comfortable. It's almost. A sneer appeared on the corner of Douluo's mouth. What? Yunshu froze for a moment. Did this guy make another move? The Jade Phosphorus Maze. Yunshu. Douluo. Did you do anything? After a while, Yunshu said blankly. How is it possible? How could the Jade Phosphorus Maze have no effect at all? Douluo said in disbelief. Maze? Could it be an illusion? Yunshu said in surprise. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you, I'm immune to most illusions. Yunshu's proud voice reached Douluo's ears, which made him feel a little uneasy. The solution is to ignore it. Is it difficult that he is also a titled Douluo? But have you heard of any titled Douluo who was born recently? Who are you? Douluo thought that this enchantment was just the opponent's first soul skill, and he became more and more sure of his thoughts. It is also of a control system. If both sides are titled Douluo, then it should not be had a bad relationship with the other party. Me. I'm just a passing mask. No. It's just a passing passerby. Yunshu said seriously. End of this chapter. Chapter 114 System Upgrade. Your Excellency, are you making fun of me? Douluo's expression darkened, but his name for Yunshu had changed. There's no way, I can't see through the opponent's strength, but just judging from the opponent's calm and unhurried behavior, how could he be a weak chicken to provoke him, the titled Douluo? No, I'm really passing by, but I just want to fight with you. Yunshu waved his hands quickly and said seriously. Too much deceit. Seeing that Yunshu was still joking with him at this moment, Douluo said angrily. Yunshu, since you want to seek death, then I'm not polite. The Jade Phosphorus Snake Emperor. Douluo released his martial soul avatar, intending to make a quick decision. After all, there are still a few people waiting to die beside him. He. Finally serious. The second soul skill, Yellow Spring Swamp. Yunshu slapped his hands on the ground, and the entire Uchiha flame formation turned into a swamp. And Yunshu himself flew into the sky by relying on the ability of reincarnation eyes, and he would be noticed by using his wings here. Damn it. What kind of ability is this? Douluo looked at the Jade Phosphorus Snake Emperor who was stuck in the mud, and said through gritted teeth. People in Douluo world generally don't have the ability to fly, unless it's the martial soul and the flying ability brought by it. Just like the hosts of the Great Soul Arena are almost all flying animal martial souls. And Douluo's Jade Scaled Snake can't fly, otherwise the Jade Scale Snake Emperor wouldn't be suppressed by the flying Golden Sacred Dragon when fighting against the Golden Iron Triangle. Because there is a master in the Golden Iron Triangle who has only level 29 soul power, which drags them down. Shen Luo Xian's Heng. Taking advantage of the Jade Phosphorus Snake Emperor being unable to move, Yunshu once again used this big move that could maximize the repulsion force boom! Exclamation mark. The Jade Phosphorus Snake Emperor was bounced away by a strong repulsion force and hit the flame barrier, and then the entire snake body began to burn. Snake Python Sharingan Shield. Damn guy. The soul skills are all aimed at me. Could it be that he is a certain enshrined in the spirit hall? Douluo looked at Yunshu and thought to himself, he and Douluo Yuguan of Wuhandian used to have feuds. If he was from Wuhandian, many things would make sense. The other party was not just passing by, but came specifically to target him. HMPH. The lackey of the Wuhan Palace. Sue to death. Now that he knew the identity of the other party, Douluo didn't have to hold back before. It was because he didn't know the identity of the other party, and the title Douluo would try his best not to offend him. As far as Douluo was concerned, some of his own poisons could kill the title Douluo, so the other party would definitely have some powerful attack capable of killing him. Medusa's gaze. The Jade Phosphorus Snake Emperor stared at Yunshu, and in the next second a white light shot towards Yunshu in the air. HMPH. Looking for death. Douluo looked at the indifferent Yunshu floating in the air with a sneer on his lips. Medusa's stare can even petrify insubstantial things like energy. If he doesn't avoid it, he will die. Just when the petrified light was about to hit Yunshu, Yunshu slowly stretched out his left hand. The third soul skill Gao Huang Shengling Zun. The petrified light was completely absorbed by Yunshu. What? Absorbed my Medusa gaze? How is it possible? Douluo almost fell from the tree in shock when he saw Yunshu absorbing all his Medusa gaze. Medusa's gaze. Yunshu pointed his right hand at Douluo's martial soul avatar. It not only absorbed my ability. Can you even hit me back? Not good. Medusa's gaze has been strengthened. I can't take this blow. Douluo saw the Medusa released by Yunshu gaze is not only faster than his own, but even its power has been strengthened. The 8th soul skill. Freeze time. It took half of Douluo's strength to resist this soul ability belonging to his own soul bone. Snapped, snapped, snapped. As expected of poisoned Douluo, Yunshu, who was floating in the air, clapped his hands and applauded Douluo. Then, can you take this next one? Yunshu clapped his hands together. Earth Blast. Ding. Slightly better than Douluo. Award mid-level lottery tickets. The system is about to be upgraded, and the host will temporarily be unable to use any functions in the system for the next 72 hours. The system has been upgraded? Yunshu, who had slipped back to the new Shrek Academy, said doubtfully while lying on the bed, watching the system prompt. For so many years, Yunshu didn't even know that the system could still be upgraded. When fighting poisoned Douluo before, Yunshu almost got himself involved with the Earth Explosive Star because he forgot to leave the gravitational core after releasing the Earth Explosive Star and almost sealed himself into it. However, poisoned Douluo was not so lucky. Yunshu then used the illusory power to pass through the flame barrier, while Douluo broke through the barrier with the help of the Jade Phosphorus Snake Emperor, followed by injuries. Although the Earth Explosion Star did not produce the desired results, the deterrent effect of this sealing technique seems to be sufficient. Then, for these 3 days, let me try those fairy grasses. Yunshu came to the Shenwei space and arranged the fairy grasses one by one. Wangyoucao is very helpful for the eyes. This fairy grass can be taken and kept. Yunshu put Wangyoucao on his left hand. The elixir that can enhance the pupil technique might also strengthen his Sharingan. I remember. It seems that you can't eat more fairy grass. Tang San didn't dare to eat more after eating 3. Then I have to eat 2 anyway. Yunshu thought to himself. After all, he didn't have Tang San's Zuanshan Kung Fu. Internal energy can protect one's heart. If something goes wrong, he doesn't know how to fix it. Who told him not to understand immortal grass? These. Yunshu looked at the remaining fairy grasses and fell into deep thought. I don't understand. Don't worry about it. Take this Wangyoucao first. Yunshu thought that this must be eaten anyway, so he simply ate this first, and as for the rest, he will follow Tang San to see if he has a chance. Can I get any useful information from him? Zyro gang, now that Douluo has been completely offended, what should Zyro-san do? In the setting sun forest, Flend looked at the direction where Douluo disappeared inside. Douluo has set up a poison formation around here. We can't find out what's going on inside. Now we can only depend on God's will. I hope Zyazan and his auspicious people have their own heaven. The master looked at the place surrounded by poisonous miasma and felt a wave of pain in his heart. Feeling powerless, his only disciple couldn't protect him. End of this chapter. Chapter 115. Divine Space. HMM. Eyesight has improved slightly, but soul power has not improved at all. What's the matter? It's also a fairy grass, and it's only improved so much. Yunshu looked at the fairy grass in front of him and said with some doubts, could it be that the long-awaited autumn dew doesn't have much effect on me? Yunshu thought, while rubbing his chin. Sharingan. Thinking of this, Yunshu directly started writing Sharingan. Good guy. I have cultivated clairvoyance. The moment he opened Sharingan, Yunshu saw through the table and saw his legs under the table. Hey, this is really a good thing, Yunshu said excitedly, and then looked around with his clairvoyant eyes. I suddenly had a very mature idea. The corner of Yunshu's mouth slightly raised, as if he had thought of something. Zyroshu, why do you have a nosebleed? The two girls looked at Yunshu and said in doubt, HMM. It should be, because I ate too much these 2 days, so I got angry. Yunshu touched his nose and found that it was indeed a nosebleed. Hurry up and wipe it, how embarrassing it looks. 3 days passed quickly. System. Is my mid-level lottery ticket still there? Yunshu said excitedly. He was afraid that after the system was updated, everything in it would be gone. I'm here. Then what new features did you update this time? Yunshu asked expectantly. From now on, when going to or returning to a certain world, you can choose to suspend the time of the host's world, and the other world will no longer be closed. The host can go to it at will. Exclusive missions in different worlds. The challenge function is activated. Finally, when the host goes to another world, the system will compare the host's overall strength, not realm, with the current world. Also, this data is for reference only. Don't close the different world anymore. Then you can play with it. Yunshu said excitedly. Like the former Naruto world, if Yunshu could come and go at will, he would never let himself go when he was about to leave. After all, to be honest, some of the techniques in Naruto are really practical. It's a pity that what the system said is that from now on, the 2 worlds Yunshu went to before are hopeless. When I leave, I can also pause the time of this world. The system is encouraging me to go out and wander. Yunshu thought to himself. When I can get something to increase my lifespan, then no matter how long I go out, it will only be a moment for this world. It's invincible. Thinking of this, Yunshu felt slightly excited. Okay, now try my luck. System, draw. Yunshu began to use the lottery tickets. Ding. Congratulations on obtaining the low-level yellow level exercise, Burnju. Because the evolution of Fenju needs to devour different fires, the world of fighting is open. Fenju. Different fire. Fight to break the world. Seeing this reward, Yunshu was shocked. Fenju, at first, was just a low-level skill in the Douluo world, but it can swallow different fires to enhance its own strength and increase the level of Fenju. Moreover, it can also drive the devoured different fires, such as the Buddha's anger fire lotus like Xiaoyan, and Yunshu can also use different fires to create barriers. After all, the Uchiha flame array and the Suzy flame array are both flame barriers, and when the time comes, change them. Fire will do. The different fire is also a relatively powerful flame, at least in the heavens and worlds. It is also the #1 high-level flame in the film. It just happened that there was no major event in the past half a year. Yunshu already had the idea of going to Dupper World. His recent soul power improvement is indeed, as some readers said, it is a bit of a hindrance. Since he can directly devour different fires to improve his strength, why bother to carry out boring cultivation? Yunshu didn't tell Zyrou, ZHU Zuking and the others. Anyway, the time can be paused now, and it's just a matter of nodding when they come and go. System, let's go. Jayamar Empire Tag or Great Desert. A figure suddenly appeared in the endless desert. Ding. The overall strength has been calculated, and the strength of the host is about the low-level fighting king, 1-star fighting king, in this world. Daowang? Yunshu didn't know the overall strength of this world, but he was undoubtedly stronger than Douluo, but he was able to reach the level of Daowang, so it seemed that his strength was quite strong. But having said that, where is this? Yunshu scratched his head, looked at the yellow sand all over the sky, and said in a daze. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth floating in the air. This world is called Daoqi. The concentration of Daoqi seems to be far higher than that of Douluo continent. No wonder the combat power of this world is stronger than Douluo. It doesn't matter, let's find a random place first. I will choose whoever the little rooster clicks. Alright, let's go in this direction. Yunshu spread his wings and flew to the place he chose. The snake human clan can only have one queen Medusa. Kill the opponent, and the one who survives will be the queen. This is the rule handed down in the clan. In a dark and terrifying hall, the pedantic elders of the snake human tribe are forcing a pair of sisters to kill each other. The older sister picked up the dagger on the ground and slowly got up and handed the dagger to her younger sister. I lost. My sister left a sentence and was ready to die. Sister, you are the real queen. The younger sister didn't want her to die and shouted at her weakly. Thank you for the gift of the snake spirit, for showing us the way. The brain-dead elder said happily. If she was here, we would definitely be able to get out of our current predicament. The younger sister murmured, while holding a dagger. Nonsense. We are not in a predicament. Forgive the old man for offending. The family rules cannot be broken. This is not because we deliberately made things difficult. She has voluntarily chosen to give up, so you must follow the instructions of fate and ascend to the throne. Adjust your emotions and prepare for the next ceremony. What the hell? I didn't fly to the wrong place, did I? Or is this Tagore desert really that big? Yunshu had been flying for almost 2 hours, not to mention human traces, not even a hair was seen. TSK, this is very annoying. It is said that King Lian's heart fire is also in this ghost desert, so I have to find the year of the monkey. And I don't know what time period it is now, and I don't know if the plot hasn't started yet, or it's already passed. No, since the system sent itself to devour the strange fire, it definitely wouldn't send it to an era without strange fires. Yunshu pondered in his heart. This matter is also uncertain, and he must find traces of human life. But, which way is this going? Yunshu was stunned. He couldn't tell the difference between south, east and north. That's right. The sun. Yunshu suddenly remembered, even if he has no sense of direction, it is right to look at the sun. Then Yunshu was stunned. Not only could he not tell the difference between south, east and north, but even if he knew the direction, he wouldn't know which direction led out of the desert. End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 116, The News of the Different Fire. I can't help it. I can't get out by myself. I can only ask others to save me. Yunshu thought of a way. It is said that the snake people seem to be in the Great Tagore Desert, so as long as he makes a big noise, he can attract the snake people to come. At that time, he can just catch one and hypnotize him. Earth Blast Star. In order to leave the desert, Yunshu did not hesitate to use the Eye of Reincarnation. After all, only this skill had the greatest impact on him. Soon, a giant sphere composed of sand and soil gradually floated into the sky. It's such a big commotion, there must be something to look at. Yunshu left an eye of sand nearby, and the main body hid in the space of Shenwei, flying in the desert for 2 hours. Plus the fire attribute grudge in the air of the upper Tagore desert is relatively active. It is really uncomfortable to stay in such a ghostly place for a long time. No wonder Yaochan wants Xiaoan to practice penance here. This kind of place is used to enhance the fire attribute combat energy in the body and hone the willpower. The effect is definitely far superior to other places. It's a pity. We are people with cheating, so we don't need to engage in such fancy things. Yunshu was lying on the bed, using his eyes of sand, to observe the movement outside, but he had been waiting for almost a whole day, and he didn't even wait for a fart, so he was lonely. It should be that the Tagore Desert is too big. I'll wait another day tomorrow. If no one comes to check the situation here, I just choose a random place to fly. Putting away the sand eye, Yunshu prepared to rest. Why didn't I find out before that this grudge is actually compatible with soul power? The next day, Yunshu got a little bored in the Shenwei space, so he came out and planned to use the two soul gathering pills. After breaking the world's battle key, Yunshu discovered that the battle key had actually merged with the soul power. Yunshu guessed that maybe the reason was that the system had been updated once. In this way, can I also practice fighting skills and exercises? Yunshu said excitedly. He didn't expect to have such a big problem before he did anything this time. Receipt. No, there is already Fenju in the Kung Fu, so let's practice some fighting skills. Yunshu said with some expectation. After all, fighting skills are not like Kung Fu where you can only learn one, and unlike soul skills, you can only rely on the soul. You can learn fighting skills if you want. It doesn't matter how much you learn, but it's just a waste of your time if you learn too much and it's useless. Finally someone has come. Yunshu stopped his cultivation. Anyway, he didn't care about the soul gathering pill, and after obtaining the different fire, Yunshu could learn to be an alchemist. Not at hand. Why is it alone? Yunshu looked in surprise at the black spot that was gradually approaching in the distance. Forget it, it doesn't matter, as long as it's a normal mind. Yunshu entered the Shenwei space again, leaving an eye of sand to observe the situation outside. Soon, the black dot gradually grew bigger in the eyes of the sand, and Yunshu could see clearly that the person who came was not a snake man. Although it's not a snake man, it doesn't matter, as long as you know the way. Yunshu was just about to go out to deal with this man when his sand eyes were suddenly blown out. I was able to detect the observation of the eye of sand. It seems that my strength is not inferior to mine. That method will not work. I can only go out and see what I can say. Thinking of this, Yunshu sucked himself out of the Shenwei space. Your Excellency? The man said cautiously when he saw Yunshu appearing in front of him in a very strange way. Yunshu's cultivation of the ancient god's hidden art is almost perfect, so even if the person in front of him is higher than him, he still cannot see Yunshu's true strength. Hey, this is Xiao Yan from the Xiao family in Wutan City. May I ask this brother, which way can I leave this ghost, leave this Tagore Desert? To be honest, my brother has been trapped in the desert for some time. Yun, seeing that the opponent's strength surpassed his own, Shu didn't plan to rob him and asked directly. The man seemed to be startled by Yunshu's weird question. He was stunned for a while before he realized and pointed to the direction he came from. Thank you very much. Yunshu cupped his hands towards this person and left after getting the specific location. I didn't expect it to fly backwards. It seems that the little rooster can't mess around. Fortunately, it didn't go further. Yunshu thought of this and spread his wings and flew out of the desert. Yunshu remembered that Kinglian Earth Heart Fire was obtained by Medusa in the southeastern area of Stone Desert City, which was also the location marked by the flame on the right side of the map that Xiao Yan brought from Haberdang, and that half-snake man Kinglian, also the traces of Medusa were once perceived there. So as long as he can leave the desert, Yunshu can find the location of Kinglian's Heart Fire by himself. Meanwhile, deeper in the desert, you are finally here. Respect the Ice Emperor. In a tavern in the desert, a fat man looked at the man in front of him and saluted respectfully. This person was the man who had shown Yunshu the way in the desert before, and he came here to accept a mission. After knowing the specific direction, it was easy to handle. After Fifi stopped for 2 days, Yunshu came to the border of the desert. Although it was still in the desert, there were already traces of human existence in this place. This is Stone Desert City. It seems that we are not far away from the different flames. Finally, on the 3rd day, Yunshu came to the city where the Moti mercenary group of Xiao Yan's eldest brother and second brother in the original book was located. Just go and see if there are these 2 people. Yunshu descended from the sky and folded his wings. Dao Wang is strong. The people in Stone Desert City said in shock after seeing the cloud tree with wings descending from the sky. You, come here. Yunshu picked a passerby at random after landing. Yes. Respect. Respected Lord Dao Wang, may I ask you, can you find the younger one? What can you do? Seeing Yunshu pointing at him, the man trembled with fright and stopped talking, stuttering. Yes, they have lived here for such a long time, and they have never seen a few strong men. Now it is normal to be scared by a strong man. Do you know the Moti mercenary group? Yunshu looked at this man and frowned and said, this guy's psychological quality is too bad. That's all. Who will respect the strong in this world? My lord, I have never heard of it. Seeing Yunshu's dissatisfied face, the man hurriedly took a deep breath and finished speaking. No. Could it be that Xiaoding and Xiaoli haven't come here to become mercenaries? Yunshu thought to himself. Very good. Since the time period is before the start of the plot, then King Lian's heart fire is stable. Yunshu nodded in satisfaction. Is there anything else to do, sir? If not, the younger one will leave. Seeing Yunshu nodding, the man was also relieved, as long as the strong man doesn't get angry. Okay, it's none of your business, let's go. Yunshu waved his hand to let him leave. Thank you, sir. End of this chapter. Chapter 117 Preparations. Heavenly fire, is it underground here? Yunshu squinted his eyes, looking at the flat desert in front of him. The ones introduced in the original book are also clean, and without any special features, and there are countless places like this in the desert. Very good. I found it. Yunshu walked around here, and found a trace of lava. This place should be the passage opened by Medusa in the original book. It's just that Yunshu was the first to discover this place this time, so there is no passage formed here, and it is still a lava area. How should this go? Yunshu looked at the lava terrain in front of him, and fell into deep thought. He doesn't have powerful fighting skills like the strong in this world. He can penetrate the ground with one blow. His Wangyoucao Wuhan is of the control system, and the Wangyouan sword is not suitable for digging. It seems that we need to quickly cultivate a powerful fighting skill, otherwise I'm afraid we'll suffer a lot when fighting people in this world. Yunshu said helplessly. Yunshu opened Susanoo and tried it, and found that, although Susanoo could enter, it could not stay in the lava for a long time, otherwise it would still be melted. This is a bit nerve-wracking. Yunshu said, frowning. Forget it, let's blur down first to see if there is any place to stay temporarily. Yunshu really had no choice but to rely on the blur of Shenwei to sneak into the ground. Moving down the lava, Yunshu found that the temperature of the lava became higher as it went down. If Susanoo was turned on at this time, it might not be able to last for a minute. However, Yunshu still underestimated the hiding place of this strange fire. The time of blurring was close to half. If there is no place to stay in another 30 seconds, Yunshu might be burned into nothingness by the magma. It seems that we still have to make sufficient preparations to come and collect the strange fire. Yunshu smiled dryly, as expected of a thing that even people at the Daohuang level should treat with care. Yunshu still underestimated such things as the strange fire. It seems that I have to prepare the 3 things that Xiao Yan prepared in the original book. Yunshu returned to the ground, marked it here, and returned to Stone Desert City. The first is the Blood Lotus pill, which is a 5th grade pill, which can protect the body from being burned to death by the terrifying high temperature when it is close to the strange fire. You must know that even a strong person at the level of Daohuang approaching the different fire ashly will end up dead, and Yunshu's overall strength is only comparable to that of Dao Wang, and this is the overall strength, including the reincarnation eye. However, if Yunshu only relied on physical strength, he might not be as good as Dao Wang. As for the second one, it is the Bingling Han Spring, but Yunshu thinks that there is something very similar to this thing, and that is the ice spring water in the eyes of Bingho Liangai. The ice and fire Liangai itself was formed from the corpses of the ice elemental dragon king, and the fire elemental dragon king. Nitrogen tubes 4. So this is a bit easy to handle. Yunshu only needs to go back. Anyway, there is also the imprint of Yunshu on the ice and fire yin yang eye. As for the last thing, mailing, the effect is that a special space can be opened up in the body to store different fires. It's a pity that Yunshu has never heard of this thing, and what Xiao Yan used in the original book was also the stock left by Yaochan back then. I don't know if the sealing technique is possible. Yunshu walked on the street, thinking to himself. Although the 4-element seal and the 8-diagram seal can seal the 9-tailed body in the different space opened up in the human body, that is because the 8-diagram seal is essentially used to seal chakra, and the 9-tailed body is an aggregate of chakra, so to be able to seal successfully. As for the strange fire, Yunshu didn't know if it could be sealed. This world is far from being as simple as I imagined. His fighting breaks the world. It's so terrifying. Little tree, how did you come here? In Douluo world, in the eyes of Binghuo Liangai, Tang San, who was training, looked at the boy in front of him in surprise. Hush, I'm here to save you. Where's Douluo? Yunshu pretended to be cautious and whispered. Don't worry, Douluo didn't intend to kill me. Anyway, he still needs my help. Tang San smiled slightly and told Yunshu his current situation. It's you. That old monster Douluo is full of poisonous miasma around here. How did you come here? Tang San asked with a strange fire. This is easy. Do you still remember my golden skull armor? That thing can block gas. Yunshu waved his hand and said indifferently, point Susanoo can indeed isolate gas, and as long as it is not corrosive, it is harmless to Susanoo. After all, Susanoo is essentially just a materialized chakra. Have you ever seen chakra energy poisoning? By the way, since you are not in any danger, then I still need your help with something. Yunshu hesitated for a while and still planned to talk to Tang San in case the protagonist could help him in any way. Speak. Tang San nodded. Do you know how to protect your body in lava or even higher flame than lava? Yunshu wanted to see if Tang San could solve this problem. After all, if you can solve yourself, there is no need to run around the world to find medicinal materials. How to resist the high temperature. Tang San summed up the essence of what Yunshu just said in just 6 words. As expected of the ancients, this is Douluo's medicine garden. The fairy grass Lihuo crossing Shu blindly contains the top fire poison, which can survive even in the magma. If you can take this fairy product, you can definitely resist the high temperature you mentioned. Because this is Douluo's medicine garden, Tang San didn't intend to hide Yunshu's information and directly told Yunshu about the fairy grass. Although there is only one of the 2 types of grass jelly, it is not necessary to take all of them. Only 1 leaf is enough. Really? Where is it? Yunshu said excitedly. Although he made a lot of fairy grass here, he hadn't moved at all near the Binghuo Liangai, but now that he thinks about it, fortunately he didn't move. Wait a minute, that special celestial product needs to be taken with another special celestial product called Star Anise Mysterious Ice Grass. Tang San hurriedly stopped Yunshu and said, I have already taken these 2 kinds of fairy products. After taking the fairy grass, I probably need to stay in the eyes of the ice and fire for a day, but Douluo is coming in less than 2 hours, so you can take this fairy grass for a while today. Can't take it yet. Tang San said slowly. Okay, then I'll get some ice spring water and leave. I'll come over early tomorrow. Yunshu also remembered that Douluo was coming to test Tang San's detoxification skills this morning. Why do you take this spring water? Tang San asked doubtfully. Be prepared. A little more preparation may come in handy at that time. End of this chapter. Chapter 118 Body Mutation. The next day, Yunshu specially waited until the sun was 3 poles before going to Binghuo Liangai. How is it? Has Douluo left? Yunshu poked his head out cautiously and asked. Let's go. That's right. I forgot to ask yesterday. What do you need to resist the high temperature? Tang San said a little puzzled. Eat the flame. Yunshu only said this sentence. Anyway, Tang San couldn't understand if he said too much. Eat the flame? Tang San was stunned when he heard Yunshu's words. Can the flame still eat it? Do you want to resist the high temperature because you are afraid of burning your mouth when eating fire? Forget it. You didn't do this once or twice. Tang San said helplessly. Ever since he was a child, Tang San couldn't understand Yunshu. Obviously, those little kids in the village were still playing with mud when they were 6 years old, and Yunshu was exercising like desperately. It seems it's the same as living. Tang San also wanted to test whether Yunshu was a reborn person like him more than once, but Yunshu who knew Tang San very well, would let this ancient person with backward thinking do the tricks. Yunshu perfectly avoided Tang San. All three's temptations made Tang San dispel the idea that Yunshu was the same person as him. After that, Yunshu created miracles again and again, created his own pupil technique, explored the hidden weapon technique comparable to Tangman, obtained the flying external spirit bone, and now eats fire. Tang San has long been surprised strange. These two celestial products need to be taken at the same time, and then enter the eyes of Binghuo Liangai after the effect of the medicine occurs. Remember to enter the eyes of Binghuo Liangai after the effect of the medicine, otherwise you will lose your bones if you fall into the water. Tang San said seriously, and after finishing speaking, he took out the Yaoxiang Kilo immortal grade. This immortal treasure also has some restraint on cold poison and fire poison, and it will be of great help to Yunshu in swallowing these two immortal grasses. Are you ready? Tang San said solemnly. Tang San is still very serious about this kind of matter related to the lives of his companions. Seeing this, Yunshu nodded. Seeing that Yunshu was ready, Tang San released his blue silver grass and came slowly to the side of the two immortals. Tang San, who had already taken these two immortals, had already developed resistance to their poison, so it won't freeze and burn his blue silver grass just after touching it for a moment like last time. This time, the blue silver grass has been immune to the attacks of both ice and fire attributes. After picking off the leaves of the two fairy products, the blue silver grass was sent to Yunshu in an instant. When the two extreme attributes meet together, the aura disappears, but both Yunshu and Tang San know that this kind of mutual restraint will disappear after 10 breaths. So Tang San immediately said to Yunshu, take the two together, go down. I know. Yunshu took the two celestial products without hesitation, opened his mouth, and swallowed them in one gulp. Immortal products melt at the entrance, turning into body fluid and flowing down the throat. It tastes good. Tang San saw a smile on the corner of his mouth after Yunshu took the fairy grass, and soon Yunshu would feel the extreme pain he felt before. It's okay. Yunshu nodded, the taste of strawberry ice cream and hay de Leo. However, 3 seconds later, Yunshu's body suddenly trembled. Go down quickly. Tang San saw Yunshu's body's celestial poison's highly poisonous effect, and immediately came to Yunshu's back, and took Yunshu's palm to the linguin. After falling into the water, the impact of the two extreme breaths of extreme cold and heat disappeared, but the two energies of ice and fire erupted in Yunshu's body. 3 times, without even a chance to resist with willpower, he passed out in an instant. Honey, come and see our baby. Somewhere as beautiful as a fairyland. A man who was holding a baby at this time said ecstatically, my child. The weak mother looked at the baby next to her with doting eyes just after giving birth, and then a trace of pain flashed in her eyes. It's this picture again. Yunshu frowned tightly. It's not the first time he saw this picture. A few years ago in the world of Ghost Slayer, Yunshu also dreamed of it, after falling asleep under the blood ghost technique of nightmare. Get over this scene. Is this my memory? A picture I've seen before. Yunshu remembered that Nightmare's blood ghost technique could make people recall the picture recorded by the eyes of the infant stage, even before he could remember anything. Inosuke in the original book saw in a dream that he was sent away by his mother when he was a baby, but he didn't care because Inosuke didn't have the concept of parents in his mind. He was raised by wild boars. But Yunshu knew very well that he definitely did not transmigrate into someone else's body, because Yunshu was sure that this body was his own, and the birthmarks and moles that had been on his body for more than 10 years had not changed. Then the picture I saw in the dream before should be my parents and myself when I was a child. Although I don't know why I was reincarnated with this body, but these are not important anymore. My child was lost at birth. Such parents don't care. Yunshu said coldly. But at the very top, I don't know what I'm thinking. Little tree, little tree. Tang San's voice rang in Yunshu's ear. HMM. Yunshu opened his eyes and found that he was in the spiritual spring, so he quickly swam up. Phew, almost. There is no feeling of lack of oxygen. Yunshu was startled, but he didn't care much, but looked at Tang San on the shore. What's wrong? Yunshu asked in confusion. You have been down for a day and a half, and you still ask me what's wrong. You scared me to death. Tang San finally breathed a sigh of relief when he saw Yunshu coming up. Just cut him up and fed him to the dogs. It's been a day and a half. Yunshu was shocked. He felt that it was only a few minutes, but it has been so long. Come up quickly. Fortunately you came out at this moment. If it had been earlier, you would have run into that old monster Douluo. Tang San stretched out his hand and pulled up the upper body naked Yunshu. How's the effect? Tang San sat aside and asked after Yunshu cleaned up. I don't feel anything. If I have to say it, except that my soul power has broken through to level 40. I seem to. My brain has become brighter. Yunshu said after sitting cross-legged and feeling the power in his body. If it wasn't for not getting a soul ring, Yunshu's soul power level would have soared to around level 45. After I took Star Anise Black Ice Grass and Fire Easing Geoshu, my Wuhan Blue Silver Grass gained fire immunity and ice attribute immunity. Where's your Wangyoucao grass? Tang San looked at Yunshu's body with eyes. There was a sudden change. Little tree, your shoulder. End of this chapter. Chapter 119 Soul Beasts who can use domains. Little tree, your shoulder. Tang San exclaimed when he saw Yunshu's naked upper body suddenly changed. What's wrong? Yunshu said in surprise, then looked over his shoulder. This is a dragon claw, a tattoo? Take a bath and get a free tattoo? Yunshu looked at the dragon claw on his shoulder and said in surprise. More than that. Tang San came behind Yunshu and said in shock. What's wrong? Yunshu asked in confusion. Behind you, the whole green dragon appeared. Tang San was already shocked by the scene behind Yunshu. The whole green dragon. Yunshu was stunned. He suddenly thought of the formation of the ice and fire yin yang eye. Could it be that he absorbed the essence of two elemental dragons while soaking in the hot spring? The Binghuo Liang Iron was originally formed from the corpses of two dragons, but the ones forming the ice and fire yin yang eyes are obviously an ice elemental dragon and a fire elemental dragon. Why? Turned into a green dragon? Could it be a mutation? Yunshu murmured. Just absorbing two fairy herbs. How could it possibly mutate? Besides, I also absorbed it. Why didn't I appear? Hearing what Yunshu murmured, Tang San thought Yunshu meant that his body mutated up. It doesn't matter. It's just a tattoo. I also have one in front of me. Yunshu pointed to a flower-shaped mark on his collarbone. It seems that there is no problem at present, but you must not hide problems in the future. Tang San said solemnly. No problem. Yunshu gave Tang San an okay gesture. It's level 40. It's time to get the soul ring. Yunshu appeared in the sunset forest holding an interpreter. After he reached level 40, the interpreter unlocked another skill, Flash. Continuous flash. When holding the interpreter, you can teleport within a small distance of 5 meters, and you can release it again within 30 seconds after the teleportation 1-hour cooldown. Teleportation is a good skill, but it's a pity. This skill needs to hold an interpreter to use, and the teleportation range is only within 5 meters. Although it can be used twice, what can 5 meters do? In the world of Douluo, the destructive range of a random blow by a random Daohuang powerhouse exceeds 5 meters. It's tasteless to eat. It's a pity to throw it away. It's too tasteless. But it is still useful in Douluo world. It can be used to bully children when fighting spirits. Speaking of which, what soul ring should I get this time? Yunshu hadn't hunted a soul beast for a long time, and the most recent soul ring was given by the system. I'm so strong now, I'm at least a 10,000-year soul beast. Yunshu thought for a while. His reincarnation eye belongs to Yandan, and also has spiritual attack methods. The 10,000-year soul that Xiao Wu mentioned, the mental shock after the death of the beast, should be able to withstand it. Then, let's start looking for prey. Yunshu walked carelessly in the sunset forest like a bandit with a knife in his hand, not worrying about whether he would be in danger at all. After all, Yunshu definitely has a hand in saving his life. Huh. Why is it a bit cold? Not right. I have just absorbed 2 kinds of fairy herbs, the cold one and the hot one, the star anise mysterious ice grass and the raging fire apricot. The resistance to cold and heat should be very high, and I shouldn't feel the cold. And it's still in a place like Sunset Forest. After walking in Sunset Forest for about half a day, Yunshu suddenly felt a chill. Could it be a soul beast? Yunshu hurriedly turned his head, and a snow-white figure instantly disappeared from Yunshu's eyes. Sure enough, there are ghosts. A smile appeared on the corner of Yunshu's mouth. This wave is called door-to-door delivery. Although I don't know how many years the opponent is a soul beast, but judging from the opponent's behavior, either he felt the pressure from Yunshu and dared not face the enemy head on point, either he wanted to tease Yunshu and waited until Yunshu was exhausted before speaking. Snowing. That guy must have made this snow too. Yunshu frowned as he looked at the melted snowflakes on his clothes. The temperature of the snow wasn't very low, so it definitely had other effects. After a few more minutes, the soul beast still didn't show up, and it was Yunshu's turn to be puzzled. What the hell is this guy trying to do? It was the first time for Yunshu to see such a cowardly soul beast. A normal soul beast couldn't wait to rush up to fight immediately after seeing people. After that, I never showed my face again, and I have been playing this kind of trick with unknown effect. Crooked. If you don't come out again, I will. What? Yunshu's expression suddenly changed halfway through his words. The strength has dropped by about %. I didn't expect this soul beast to be able to use this kind of ice and snow domain that suppresses its strength. Yunshu gradually became excited. The ice and snow attribute soul beast also possesses the skill of domain. This soul ring, I have made up my mind. However, this field doesn't look very powerful in the hands of the soul beast. The front swing of the spell is so long, and it took about 7 or 8 minutes to form the field. The suppression of the enemy's strength is only 8%. No matter how you look at it, it is a team battle support type skill. But Yunshu doesn't care about that much anymore. The colder the better, as long as he can swallow the strange fire. Even if his body is full of rubbish soul skills, Yunshu can also learn fighting skills. After all, the two are similar, and learning there is no limit to fighting skills. Raw! Exclamation mark. Seeing that his domain was completed, this soul beast hidden in the dark finally revealed its true colors. A snow lion. Don't lions live in groups? And it seems that lions don't live in the forest. Yunshu looked at the snow white lion in front of him in surprise. Okay, I've seen your field before. Now let's try my enchantment. Uchiha flame formation. Yunshu gathered the fire attribute energy in his palm and slapped the ground with one hand. The power of the flame passed through the ground and formed a crimson flame barrier around Yunshu and Snow Lion. Roar. Seeing that he was surrounded by flames, the Snow Lion's roar became a little trembling. After all, the attributes are incompatible, and its ice and snow domain may have a bonus to itself, but these are all in vain in Yunshu's flame barrier. You'll be fine without oppression. There's nothing you can do. Yunshu picked up the interpreter in his hand and said with a sinister smile. Woo woo. Snow Lion hesitated. Swish swish! Exclamation mark. Raising his hand, 3 cold lights shot out, and Yunshu held the interpreter and used the newly acquired skill, Flash. Millennium Impact. Yunshu teleported twice and instantly came behind Snow Lion. With flower blades in front and chrysanthemums with sharp swords, Snow Lion turned around and spit out a huge ball of snow towards Yunshu without even thinking about it. The Art of Fireball. End of this chapter. Chapter 120. Mysterious Tattoo. In the depths of the Sunset Forest, inside a flame enchantment. I don't want to kill you either. Who told you to come to your door on your own initiative? And it happens to be the ice attribute that I need very much right now. Yunshu sighed and said as he looked at the Snow Lion who had been knocked unconscious by him. Okay, even if you are 1,000-year soul ring, I will recognize it. Yunshu ruthlessly inserted the interpreter in his hand into Snow Lion's body puff. Yunshu watched the dead Snow Lion draw out its soul ring with spiritual force. Black 10,000-year soul ring. Yunshu said in surprise. He didn't expect this guy to be such a good guy, but he was actually a 10,000-year soul ring. Don't you sneak out from the group? Yunshu said in surprise. According to Yunshu's observation, this guy's strength is not very good, but in his own ice and snow field, his strength has been improved far more than weakened. If there is no accident, this guy should have separated from the ethnic group, or was driven out, so he acted alone. But seeing that it doesn't have any scars on its body, it should be separated. After all, this field should be of great use to itself, and their ethnic groups. Okay, while the barrier is still there, I'll accept your spirit ring. Yunshu tidied up, then sat down cross-legged, motivating the spirit ring to start absorbing it. However, what Yunshu didn't realize was that just as he closed his eyes and began to meditate, the blue dragon tattoo on his back suddenly emitted an imperceptible blue light through his clothes, and then the snow lion's body in front of Yunshu seemed to have been slain. Corroded, it turned into a white mist and slowly floated into Yunshu's clothes and into the tattoo on Yunshu's back. How can this 10,000-year spirit ring be absorbed so smoothly? After absorbing the soul ring, Yunshu frowned and said, before absorbing a 1,000-year soul beast was uncomfortable. Today's 10,000-year soul beast doesn't even feel that kind of soul power shock, let alone a mental shock. Did I absorb a fake soul ring? Yunshu opened his eyes and said doubtfully, where's the corpse? What the hell? Where's the snow lion's corpse? Yunshu looked at the empty ground in shock. The barrier is still there, so there's no way something could have come in. What's going on? Yunshu stood up, floated into the air, and lowered his head to look at the ground. There is no trace of damage on the ground, and it is impossible to drill out of the ground. Where did the snow lion's body go? Yunshu couldn't tear up Miss Key. In the end, there was really no other way, so he didn't care. Left here. Go back and see them, just to see what effect this so-called extremely cold field has. The skill of Yunshu Wangyoucao's fourth spirit ring is the skill called Extreme Cold Domain. Divine Power. Why is there no one? Yunshu came to Xiao Wu's dormitory and found that there was no one there. Yunshu. At this time, Liu Erlang suddenly appeared behind Yunshu. Teacher Liu Erlang. Yunshu bowed lightly after seeing the person coming. Road. Are you here to find Xiao Wu and the others? Liu Erlang asked. Well, does the teacher know where they went? Do you know that this is a girl's dormitory? Liu Erlang didn't answer, but looked at Yunshu jokingly and said, I know, girl. Yunshu was stunned suddenly. The Shrek he stayed in before was established in the village, so there was no distinction between male and female dormitories at all. Yunshu is also used to finding people in the dormitory. Now this Shrek doesn't seem to be the same poor academy as before, so all the people living in this building are women. I'm sorry, Teacher Erlang. Because the college I was in before didn't have male and female dormitories, I'm leaving now. Yunshu scratched his head and ran downstairs. Xiao Wu is in class now, you should be able to meet her in the classroom. Liu Erlang's voice reached Yunshu's ears. TCH. How unlucky. Yunshu originally wanted to see if there were any senior girls in the girls' dormitory. Following the road signs, Yunshu finally came to the teaching building. It's been almost 13 years since I came to this world, and I've never taken a class. Yunshu looked at the classroom in front of him and sighed. Hey, Xiaoshu, you're back. Xiao and Zhu Yuking showed joyful expressions after seeing Yunshu. Ahem. It's time for class, be quiet. The one who taught everyone was Li Yusong, the dragon stick fighting soul emperor. Because Yunshu and others were former students of Shrek, and they were all super geniuses, so Li Yusong treated them very well. Not too serious either. Come on. Sit here. Xiao Wu whispered. Damn. Who is that guy? Xiao and Yuking actually showed such happy expressions. Several passers-by who were in class behind them saw that their favorite goddess had such a sight, and they wished to kill Yunshu on the spot in order to take the corpse to clean the latrine. Yunshu hasn't attended a class since he came to Shrek, so it's normal that these people don't know Yunshu. Boy, where did you come from? Don't you know that Xiao Wu is the woman our boss likes? After class, a follower came to Yunshu and said arrogantly. Then another person came in front of Yunshu and said the same words as the previous follower, except that the person among them became Zhu Yuking. You two are too high profile. It's only been a few days since school started. Yunshu said a little speechlessly. He thought that he would never encounter this kind of bloody plot, where his girlfriend was taken by a self-righteous person in his life. I didn't expect two of them to come here. Get out. Go play. Yunshu yelled angrily. A few passers-by really regarded themselves as the protagonists. Seeing that Yunshu's expression was not good, the two doglegs seemed to be from the same batch of students as Xiao Wu and the others, and thinking of the strength of this batch of students, they left in disgrace. What does it have to do with us? It's always been their self-indulgent sentimentality. Seeing Yunshu helping to get rid of these two annoying guys, Xiao Wu turned her head and said arrogantly, "Okay, you two come with me. I have a new soul skill I want to try." Yunshu said helplessly, "You have broken through level 40, right? What a terrifying speed of cultivation." Zhu Zuking said in surprise after hearing Yunshu's words. "Don't be envious, you will have it soon." Yunshu touched the heads of the two autistic people who were almost hit by Yunshu in front of him. "Soon. There will be." "What do you mean?" Zhu Zuking caught the point of what Yunshu said. "Could it be that you used something? Well, keep it secret for now. I'll surprise you when the time comes." Yunshu said mysteriously. "HMPH. What a big deal. We will definitely catch up with you." Xiao Wu said unconvinced. Okay, now accompany me to try the new soul skill." Yunshu patted Xiao Wu's head and said with a smile. End of this chapter. Chapter 121 The Alchemist Guild. Extremely cold field. With the opening of the field, snowflakes gradually began to float within a radius of 100 meters, and the temperature in the field also dropped rapidly. Yunshu's extremely cold domain is not like that silly lion, which needs to be charged for so long before it can be used. It only takes about 10 seconds for him to fully form the domain. Ah, it's so cold. After the domain was opened, the two people staying beside Yunshu exclaimed, and then took out thick clothes from the storage equipment and put them on. "What is this?" Zhu Zuking said in shock. "My fourth soul skill, extreme cold domain." Yunshu said quietly, looking at the surrounding situation. "What is the domain?" Zhu Zuking asked doubtfully. "I don't know exactly how to explain it, but its main function is to suppress the opponent's strength, and at the same time, improve my own strength. It can also create a battlefield that is beneficial to me." Yunshu said slowly. "I said it. I thought it was because of the cold that my hands and feet became sluggish, so my strength has declined." Zhu Zuking said with a frown. "Is this suppressing strength?" Xiao Wu also exclaimed. "Let me see if I can cancel the suppression on you." Since it was just obtained and used for the first time, Yunshu was not yet able to skillfully control everything in the domain, so he sat down cross-legged and began to concentrate on meditation stand up. After about 5 minutes or so, the strength has gradually recovered, and I don't feel the cold anymore. Zhu Zuking said slowly, feeling his own strength. "Wait. The soul power seems to have improved, but it's a bit different from the increase in Rangrang's 7 treasures glazed tile pagoda." The two looked at each other in surprise and said, "This is an auxiliary soul skill." Yunshu opened his eyes and said, "The battle soul of this soul skill group should be very powerful. After all, it is all added by allies, and we can buy all opponents. It's a pity that, since the soul ring itself is only 10,000 years old, the suppression against opponents of the same level is only about 3 levels. Not to mention that, if the opponent's strength is higher than Yunshu, then apart from slowing down the opponent's speed, there is almost nothing else. No effect." Ziyu and Hulina's martial soul fusion skill Yao Mei is very powerful. The red mist they used can actually directly suppress % of the opponent's strength. It should be considered a low-level field. But Yunshu's extremely cold domain is more powerful. After all, Yao Mei is the fusion skill of two people's martial souls, and if they planned ahead of time, they will not be able to fuse. The next step is to find as many treasures as possible that can help me absorb the strange fire. Yunshu paused the world directly, and then went to the world of Douluo. The most powerful alchemist in the Jama Empire should be Guhi, but the current time period is not long before the start of the plot. I don't know what level of alchemist Guhi is now. Yunshu looked at the magma in front of him, and fell into it, thinking, after the experience last time, Yunshu didn't dare to absorb the strange fire without complete preparations. He couldn't even touch ordinary lava by himself. If he couldn't bear the high temperature of the strange fire, he would have to die on the spot. "Why don't you go to Xiao's house and have a look? What time is it now?" Yunshu thought about it and finally decided to go and have a look. Anyway, King Dian's heart fire can't escape here, but some things he needs things may be bought a second late. After coming to Xiao's house, because he fell from the sky, he was regarded as a strong person in the Daozang. It happened that Xiao's family didn't know who was getting married, so Yunshu was invited as a guest. What? There is no clansman named Xiao Yan. What about Xiao Zuna, Xiao Ding and Xiao Li? Yunshu didn't want to play tricks on them and asked his own question directly, but got the result shocked Yunshu. Unexpectedly, the time when I arrived was about 20 years earlier, or even longer. I'm sorry my lord, the Xiao family doesn't have the people you mentioned. The head of the Xiao family shook his head and said, is there Xiao Zan? My lord knows me? Although Yunshu looks to be only about 20 years old, in Xiao Lin's eyes, the only one who can fly in the sky is a strong Dao Zhang. Although the Xiao family has fallen, he still has knowledge. Your son? Yunshu raised his eyebrows and looked at him in surprise. Your son's name is Xiao Zan. Yunshu repeated again, seeming a bit unacceptable. Yes, what's wrong, sir? Seeing Yunshu's inexplicable expression, Xiao Lin asked cautiously. How old is your son? Is he married? Yunshu continued to ask, just knowing Xiao Zan could not determine the time period, at least he had to know how old Xiao Zan was, and whether he was married. My son is upright and weak. As for this marriage, Xiao Lin pointed to the double happiness on the wall. Is your son getting married today? Hearing this, Yunshu probably knew what time period it was. About 20 years before the plot begins. If it's so early, I'm relieved. Yunshu narrowed his eyes, and a mysterious smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. More than 20 years was enough for Yunshu to acquire all the different fires before Xiao Yan grew up. The next step is to find the highest ranked pharmacist in this time period. Thinking of this, Yunshu left the Xiao family directly. There is no pharmacist who does not want to have a strange fire, so the higher the level of the pharmacist, the higher the chance of having nailing. Maybe with luck, Yunshu can collect the cold ice spring and blood lotus pill. Then, let's start with the so-called alchemists guild. Yunshu spread his wings and flew towards the direction of Black Rock City, because this place seems to be the closest to the alchemists guild in the Tagore Desert. After finding Naling, Yunshu didn't need to run around. Xiao Yan never used Xiaonai when he was on his way, because he was afraid of attracting too much attention and causing trouble. Yunshu had no such idea. After all, his divine power could be transmitted at any time, and he left traces of divine power in many places. Mark, if you can't beat it, just run away. Besides, with his current strength at the level of a fighting king, there are really not many people in the Jama Empire who can bully him. After another 2 days of stop and go, Yunshu finally came to Black Rock City. Since Yunshu still had important matters to do, he didn't fly into the city in such a high-profile manner, but chose to penetrate in from a dark place. Brother, how do you get to the Alchemist Guild? Yunshu stopped a young man in his 20s and asked. Alchemist Guild. The young man showed a surprised expression when he heard that Yunshu asked about the Alchemist Guild, as if he didn't expect that the person in front of him was actually a pharmacist. Well, how to get there? Yunshu was not in a hurry and asked calmly. Ahead. Go straight and turn right at the 5th intersection and you will be there. Do you want me to take you there? The young man who came to his senses rubbed his hands and said to Yunshu with a flattering expression. As expected, Yunshu was speechless in his heart. It was the same situation when Xiao Yan inquired about the Alchemist Guild. It seems that alchemists are really respected in this world. No need, I'll just go by myself. Yunshu dismissed the young man with a wave of his hand. End of this chapter. Chapter 122. You are greedy for my beauty. Looks like I'll have to become a pharmacist after I get the heavenly flame. Yunshu thought to himself. Not to mention anything else, the clothes of the alchemist in the original book can save a lot of trouble wherever he goes. After all, no one would be willing to offend an alchemist, unless the other party is also a pharmacist, and the level is higher than yours. The pharmacists guild in this era is actually so lively. After arriving at the pharmacists guild, Yunshu looked at the bustling crowd in the hall, and said in surprise. No. With so many people, how long will I have to wait until I can talk to the person in charge? Yunshu narrowed his eyes, ready to use some special means to deal with all these people. The technique of Nirvana abode. Yunshu used the one-handed seal of his right hand hidden in his sleeve to perform this large-scale illusion. Countless feathers began to appear on the roof and fell in front of everyone. Thump, thump, thump. Soon, the people blocked in front of Yunshu began to fall one by one. What's wrong? What happened? Attack. Someone has attacked the Alchemists Guild. The Melanitas who didn't know the truth shouted in horror when they saw the fallen people one after another and thought they were dead. Yunshu was stunned for a moment. Why was the result different from what he had expected? In order not to get into trouble, Yunshu resolutely fell down like those who fell asleep, pretending to be asleep. After a while, Yunshu heard that someone was moving the bodies of these sleeping people. Yunshu pretended to wake up and stretched himself. Huh? What's the matter? Yunshu looked at the person lying on the ground and asked suspiciously. I don't know. It is said that someone attacked the Alchemist Guild and you all fell asleep for no reason just now. Oh. By the way, I still have something to do. Yunshu ran towards the inside of the Alchemist Guild, as if he suddenly remembered something, and everyone didn't want to stop him. The people who came here were either alchemists or alchemists' apprentices. They wayjourners don't have the guts to stop the pharmacist. Huh? Are you taking the pharmacist's exam? Yunshu slowly walked into an empty hall, and found 10 people in the hall were staring intently at the small medicine stove in front of him. An old man on the stage hurriedly signaled Yunshu to be quiet after hearing Yunshu's words. The pharmacist should not be disturbed during the refining process, otherwise, all the medicinal materials will be wasted, or the furnace will be blown up. Bang! Exclamation mark. No matter what he said, the refining furnace in front of a young man exploded with a bang. Boom, boom, boom. The person frying the furnace seemed to have caused a chain reaction, and the rest of the candidates also started frying the furnace one after another. In the end, there were only 2 middle-aged men left who were still working hard to refine the elixir. Yunshu thought that he had to learn how to make alchemy anyway, so he simply opened Sharingan and began to copy the alchemy techniques of the 2 remaining geniuses. Although alchemy requires more than just techniques, it has improved a lot of efficiency for Yunshu to learn alchemy in the future. After another quarter of an hour, the 2 remaining middle-aged men finally completed their assessment tasks. Well, not bad. Not bad. Otto, Frank. You finally didn't disappoint me. The old man standing on the stage nodded and said with a smile. These 2 people are the 2 old men who will test Xiaoyan as a 2nd grade alchemist more than 20 years later? Yunshu said in surprise. Little friend, you are not a pharmacist. The old man said a few words to the 2 of them, and then he came in front of Yunshu. Yunshu nodded. Haha, I knew it. Old man, I'm the president of the Alchemists Guild in Black Rock City. Just call me Mr. Mo. The old man stroked his beard and said to Yunshu with a smile. What's the matter with this guy's attitude? Yunshu looked at the old man Mo and felt a little surprised. This guy's attitude towards him was too polite. Yunshu thought that his identity and strength had been kept secret. Could it be that this old man has seen through his own strength? Don't worry, little friend. I was also present at the fast downstairs just now. Leo gave Yunshu a meaningful look. The general meaning is that I know that you did the thing that made everyone fall asleep just now, and I also know that you are pretending to be asleep. Yunshu scratched his head in embarrassment. He made troubles in other people's territory, and others didn't blame him, but got along with him with a smile on his face. Little friend, did you come to learn how to refine medicine? Elder Emo looked at Yunshu and asked softly. No, yes, no. I don't have this plan for the time being, maybe later. Yunshu hesitated. Then prepare it when you come to our guild? Elder Emo asked doubtfully. Nailing, do you have any here? Yunshu directly stated his goal. Nailing? Is it possible that my little friend wants to make a ring? No, I don't look like a person who needs a ring. Heavenly flame. At the end, Imoleo suddenly said in surprise. That's right. Yunshu nodded. Since he had guessed it, there was no need to hide it. Little friend, is there any news about the strange fire? Imoleo suddenly changed into a puzzling expression. This old man is not an old urchin. Yunshu looked at Imoleo's expression and said speechlessly. I'm not sure. But at least we have to prepare in advance. Otherwise, wouldn't it be a pity if we can't take down the strange fire when we meet it? Yunshu said nonsense without changing his face and heartbeat. Who? Yunshu is a professional. He. Elder Emma gave Yunshu a smile that I couldn't believe. Is there any? Yunshu didn't want to talk nonsense anymore. No. Old man Emo said decisively. Don't worry, little friend. Seeing that Yunshu turned his head back without hesitation, Imoleo hurriedly called out to Yunshu. Although our alchemist guild doesn't have one, I know there is one person who has nailing. Old man Emo said with a smile. Yunshu looked at his face. That deserved a beating. If it wasn't because he was an old man, Yunshu would have punched him a long time ago. Who? Yunshu asked. Don't worry, little friend. That person is not in Black Rock City right now, so you can temporarily stay in our alchemist guild, and we will notify you when he comes back. Old Emo said slowly and calmly. Do you have any plans for me? Yunshu raised his eyebrows. A pharmacist's guild was so kind to a man of unknown origin. Could it be that you are an old glass, coveting my beauty? Puff. What? Yunshu said almost choked Imoleo to death. Little friend, you misunderstood. End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 123 7-star Ryangayan. Little friend misunderstood. Imoleo said hastily. It's actually like this. Imoleo began to explain to Yunshu. You said it earlier. Yunshu heaved a sigh of relief. It turned out that the old man took a fancy to the technique of Nirvana abode he used before and wanted to exchange that special fighting skill with Yunshu. Yes, no problem. But I won't guarantee if you can learn it. Yunshu nodded and agreed to the deal. Anyway, this ninjutsu is obtained for free, and teaching others has no effect on oneself. Even someone like Sakura who knows a little about illusion can be immune, let alone Yunshu. It's okay to want this fighting skill, but I also have a request. The corner of Yunshu's mouth rose slightly. The purpose of his visit was to exchange for these treasures of pills. He didn't expect that someone would offer them to his door now. No problem. Little friend, follow me to the study to discuss in detail. Blood lotus pill? It seems that little friend is really well prepared. Imoleo said meaningfully after hearing Yunshu's request. If you want to change it or not, just tell me. Yunshu didn't want to mince words with him anymore, because staying with the old guy in one place always felt uncomfortable, so Yunshu was more straightforward. Although the blood lotus pill is a 5th rank elixir, it is not a rare elixir, so it is of a slightly higher grade. A 5th rank pharmacist like old man Emo should have it. The materials are always available. Change. But, little friend, do you know that this blood lotus pill is a 5th rank elixir, and a mysterious level fighting skill is probably not worth the price? Old man Emo said with a smile. Mysterious level? Yunshu raised his eyebrows. He himself didn't know how many levels this technique would be based on the classification in the Douluo world, but judging from the fact that it can only affect some low-level ninjas and ordinary people, not surprisingly, they should only be assigned to the high-level yellow rank or the low-level mysterious rank. That's right. I don't know if my little friend has anything else. Imoleo rubbed his hands and motioned Yunshu to bring out more things in exchange. This old man is really top quality. Yunshu thought to himself. Then, how about this fighting skill? Shu body. Yunshu pinched out a seal with his right hand, hidden in his sleeve. A body of water with less than % of Yunshu's body strength appeared beside Yunshu. Clone fighting skill. Old man Emo's eyes lit up, and he seemed to like this fighting skill very much. Wait. Is this avatar, little friend, a phantom or a real entity? Old man Emo came to Yunshu's side to see the avatar. Substantial. Yunshu's water body walked up to old man Emo and rubbed the white beard on his chin. Deal. Old Emo immediately clapped his hands and agreed to the deal. Next came the trading session. Yunshu took out the 2 scrolls and handed them to old man Emo, and then Yunshu also got the blood lotus pill that was used to protect the body when absorbing the strange fire from old Emo. Fortunately, I had the foresight to record some ninjutsu on a scroll before this. If I wrote it down on the spot, the old man would definitely not believe it. After leaving the alchemist guild, Yunshu thought to himself. Before he came to this world for the second time, he recorded some common ninjutsu learning methods on the scroll, so that he might be able to use it when he came to this world. But this transaction feels too smooth. It's not like Yunshu has never read this kind of fantasy novel. Normally, after the transaction is completed, it should be killing people and seizing treasure. It doesn't matter, anyway, it's just an unknown alchemist. Yunshu shook his head and said, since he hasn't heard of this person's name for more than years, it means that something should have happened during this period. The old man was killed by someone. That's all for those who don't survive the beginning of the story. The guy who owns Naling hasn't come back yet. The guy that old man Emo mentioned should be got without accident. That guy has a lot of treasures, and it's normal to have Naling. More than 20 years later, Furukawa's nailing should be given by him. After all, they are brothers. I thought I could devour it if I found the strange fire, but I didn't expect it to be so troublesome. That guy got. Let's deal with it directly when he comes back, so as not to have to argue with him again. Yunshu narrowed his eyes. He had already can't wait to devour the strange fire. As for now, let's see if my extremely cold domain and ice spring water can let me go down to the underground magma space first. Yunshu came to a place where no one was there, and then used Shenwei to transfer himself to Kinglian, the place where the fire in the center of the earth is located. Extremely cold field. Yunshu stretched out his palm, and Wangyoucao kept releasing icy breath, lowering the temperature around his body. This is another usage of the extremely cold field that Yunshu discovered. Compressing the size of the field. The smaller the area of the field, the higher the temperature in it. Yunshu compressed the domain to the extent that it could wrap around his body, which was equivalent to wearing an extremely cold armor. Although this armor could not resist attacks, it could barely withstand high temperatures. I'm quite well prepared this time, don't let me down. Yunshu took out the interpreter, and although the two flashes of 5-meter teleportation are more hip in the Battle of the Strong, they are used in this kind of battle. The place might work wonders. Closing his eyes, Yunshu just jumped into the magma. As soon as he entered the magma, Yunshu's left hand suddenly started to heat up. Yunshu opened his perspective eye and looked at his left hand through the magma. Wangyoucao sword, are you reminding me of something? Yunshu released the martial spirit in his left hand, 7-star Wangyoucao, which he had never used before. As soon as Yunshu finished speaking, Wangyoucao sword released a fiery red light again, and immediately after, the magma that wrapped Yunshu was suddenly pushed apart by a powerful force. What? You still have this effect? Why didn't you say it earlier? Yunshu said in shock, after seeing Wangyoucao cut off the magma for him. He said that he didn't need to do so much trouble up. Wangyoucao, blame me. Forget it, I didn't expect such a good thing. Yunshu was a little depressed. With such a convenient ability, he didn't need such trouble. The fact that this didn't happen last time should be because Yunshu didn't jump directly into the magma. Last time he used Shenwei to do the routine. His body was in a different space and he didn't feel the high temperature of the magma, so he didn't get excited. Unleash the Vulcan power of Wangyoucao sword. That's right, this strange ability should be the power of the fire god of Wangyoucao sword's second martial spirit Suzaku, and only the ability of the fire attribute can do such a miraculous thing. Since there was no need to resist the magma, Yunshu didn't need to be so troublesome. He directly held the Wangyoucao sword and rushed towards the center of the earth. End of this chapter. Chapter 124. Good. Is this the world in the center of the earth? Looking at the fiery red magma world in front of him, Yunshu was shocked. The two-headed fire spirit snake. Yunshu narrowed his eyes and opened his perspective eyes, just in time to see the two-headed snake-shaped monster wandering around in the magma. The double-headed fire spirit snake, which was only capable of fighting spirits more than 20 years later, has only just reached the realm of a fighter. Yunshu can deal with this monster without being serious. However, Yunshu has not taken action. Going down to absorb Kinglian's heart fire, it's better to accumulate some virtue for yourself, so as to save accidents when devouring the different fire. Naling didn't get it, and there was still a certain risk in devouring the strange fire, so Yunshu just stayed here for a few minutes before leaving. He just came to confirm whether it was consistent with the description in the original book. Damn Guten. What are you running around at this time? The strange fire was right in front of him, but Yunshu couldn't take it down, and Yunshu's mood suddenly became a little irritable. Ha! Yunshu held the dragon yuan sword and waved it at the void in front of him. Boom! Exclamation mark. The sharp sword energy directly hit a huge boulder not far away, blasting the boulder to pieces. Phew, it can't be like this, especially at this time. You need to calm down. Yunshu frowned and said, if he still had this mentality when devouring the strange fire, he might be in danger by then. It was the first time for Yunshu to look forward to something so much, which caused some changes in his mentality and became a little manic. Yunshu took out a pure heart fruit and swallowed it. Mania is a negative emotion, and taking the pure heart fruit should also be able to eliminate it. Let's get through this period by practicing, so as not to let the previous things happen again. After returning to Black Rock City, Yunshu opened a room, preparing to practice the fighting spirit of this world during the period before Guts' return. After all, he also wants to learn fighting skills in the future. Someone is staring at me. As soon as he entered the cultivation state, Yunshu sensed two weak auras approaching him. I just came back from the Tagore Desert. Who has the ability to follow me all the time? Or, that guy has been following me in Black Rock City for a long time, but he lost it before, and now I'm back, and he is following me again. Yunshu thought to himself, he has never offended anyone here, except for the illusion he used in the Alchemist Guild. Could it be that, as I thought, that old man Mo wants to kill people and seize treasures? Heh. He even sent these two crooked melons to kill me. Yunshu was speechless for a while. The old man, it's too small for me. These two probably didn't even have the strength of Dowling, so they dared to assassinate him, the 6-star fighting king. After Yunshu's strength broke through to level 45, his overall strength in this world also changed from just entering the Dawang to a 6-star Dawang. However, if we simply look at the fighting spirit in Yunshu's body, Yunshu is only at the 5th stage of fighting spirit now. Dawang is nothing more than Yunshu's overall fighting ability. Dang dang dang! Exclamation mark. Knock on the door. Yunshu was stunned. These two people must have had quicksilver in their brains, and they dared to knock on the door for assassination. Excuse me, is this Mr. Yunshu? Mr. Mo welcomes you. The person outside the door suddenly asked. It's really old man Mo? Yunshu thought to himself, but it seemed that he didn't want to kill himself, but invited himself to go over. Could it be that guy Gyut is back? Yunshu muttered. Good guy. I'm sorry for waiting so long. If I don't clean up your house this time. Yunshu packed up his things and followed the two to the Alchemist Guild. When he came to the Alchemist Guild, Yunshu found that old man Mo was teaching Frank and Otto some experience in alchemy, so Yunshu simply went to the place where the previous exam was to see other people's alchemy. At his current stage of fighting spirit, there is no way for him to become a pharmacist. At least he has to break through to Dao Zhe like Zhao Yan and learn a fire attribute exercise. The exercise has been solved. Fenju it is of the fire attribute. So at present, Yunshu only needs to wait for the breakthrough of the fighter after devouring the different fire. Little friend, we meet again. Leo said with a smile when he found Yunshu after finishing the matter at hand. With this appearance, Yunshu always feels that he has some intentions for him, and this old man's name is the same as Han Peo Peo's first master, so Yunshu will always be wary of this old man. It's not that there are no good people in the world, but good people don't have such great kindness towards a person for no reason. Old Mo, why are you looking for me? Yunshu looked at the people making medicine from time to time and asked old man Mo. The man with Naling I mentioned earlier has returned. Little friend, do you want to meet? Old Mo didn't care about Yunshu's impolite appearance and said with a smile. See you. Of course we want to see you. Yunshu affirmed. Then come with me, little friend. Leo took Yunshu and left the Alchemist Guild. By the way, Mr. Mo, does the person you mentioned have the ice spirit cold spring? Yunshu remembered that Gute had this thing more than 20 years later, but he didn't know if he got it now. There is not only one kind of strange fire that Yunshu needs to devour, all of them are his targets. So of course, the more things that need to be prepared to swallow the different fires, the better. I'm not sure about this. You can ask yourself when the time comes. but this ice spring is an extremely rare treasure. It seems that my goal is very clear. Emolao shook his head and laughed said. Be prepared. Yunshu didn't say much. Yunshu and Emolao went around a dozen dark streets before they came to a quite strange looking building. It's really cute. Yunshu wondered in his heart. The original book also described Bute's house in this way, which is very weird. Little friend, it's here. Old man Emo pushed open the door and motioned Yunshu to follow. There seems to be tickle powder in the house. Yunshu thought for a while and then started the kaleidoscope Sharingan, ready to enter the virtual state at any time. Snapped. After walking into the room, the door behind him was closed fiercely. If he was a coward, he would definitely jump up in fright. However, following old man Mo, he had already reached the second floor and he did not see any hidden weapons. Could it be that Gute's personality hasn't become so weird more than 20 years ago? Yunshu narrowed his eyes and thought to himself. After walking up the final stairs, Emolao looked at the wooden door at the end of the corridor and said, little friend, it's there. Well, let's go. Yunshu was always ready to blur, so he didn't have to worry about anything. Dang. End of this chapter. Chapter 125 Absorbing Different Flames. Dang. Exclamation mark. Gute, I brought a little guy to trade with you. Old Emo knocked on the door and shouted outside. Where's the good stuff? The door was suddenly opened, and a wretched looking guy suddenly poked his head out and looked at Yunshu in surprise and said, Emo Yagan. It's you again. Then his vision shifted, and he saw old man Emo beside Yunshu. Emo is rich. This old Emo boss, Wangyoucao, is actually called by this name. I'm so happy. Yunshu covered his mouth and almost couldn't laugh out loud, and secretly laughed in his heart. Gute, this time I introduced a big business to you. Old man Emo said with a smile, while stroking his beard. What good things can this little guy have? Seeing that Yunshu was only in his early 20s, Gute didn't believe that Yunshu could have any good talents. Little friend, I brought you the place. As for the next transaction, it's up to you. Old man Emo said with a smile, and then left Gute's house. Boy, you. Gute was stunned before he could speak, because Yunshu standing in front of him had already activated the kaleidoscope and used illusion on him. Take out all the good things on your body. Yunshu gave Gute an order directly. This guy is a person who likes to collect natural treasures, and a good alchemist doesn't do it. Furukawa has some fights, but it's a pity that all of them are now cheaper than Yunshu. Only these. Yunshu looked at the bottles and 4 or 5 small boxes on the table and frowned. Doesn't this guy like to collect things? Where did all the collected things go? Yes, that's all. Gute nodded. Which one is nulling? Where's Bingling Hanquin? Yunshu looked at these bottles and jars with a dazed expression. To be honest, even if these rare treasures were placed in front of him, he might not be able to recognize them. This is nulling, and the Bingling cold spring is here. Gute said slowly, and pushed the 2 treasures in front of Yunshu. Yunshu found that Gute became a little demented after being hypnotized. What are the other things? Yunshu asked suspiciously, after looking at the few remaining things, after putting away nulling and Bingling Hanquin. This is amber jade, this stone is a meteorite, this is a black iron ingot, and this bottle contains. Hey, that's enough. Is there anything that can help absorb the strange fire? Yunshu's head got dizzy hearing all these things. No more. Gute said blankly. Forget it, then keep it for yourself. Yunshu waved his hand, and Gute passed out, and then Yunshu sealed Gute's memory during this time, and when he woke up, he would only think that the treasure was lost. She couldn't remember that Yunshu and Emolao had ever been here. Finally, we have collected all the things that can absorb the strange fire, Yunshu said excitedly. Divine power. Finally able to absorb the strange fire. Yunshu returned to the underground magma space. The 2-headed fire spirit snake below was still wandering carefree in the magma. Yunshu didn't choose to deal with it, but just released a little momentum to scare the 2-head fire spirit snake, which was only as strong as a fighter ran. Immediately afterwards, Yunshu took out the Wangyoucao sword and jumped into the magma. Before touching the magma, Wangyoucao sword released a strange energy to separate all the magma around Yunshu. Although the temperature was still very high, it was already in a safe state for Yunshu, who had taken the fire apricot within the acceptable range. After falling rapidly in the magma for nearly a quarter of an hour, Yunshu's see-through eyes finally saw a trace of blue light coming from below. Found it, Yunshu said in surprise. Immediately afterwards, Yunshu carried the Wangyoucao sword behind his back and took out the blood lotus pill that he had traded with Wangyoucao before. This pill can temporarily protect Yunshu's body from the high temperature near the strange fire. Swallowing the blood lotus pill in one gulp, the blood lotus pill turned into a cold energy and entered the meridians in Yunshu's body as soon as it entered his mouth. Soon, Yunshu's body trembled violently, traces of blood gushed out from the pores, and Yunshu's entire body turned blood red because of this, like a blood man. Immediately afterwards, the blood began to coagulate at a rapid rate shortly after it appeared, and finally formed a bloody cuticle, covering Yunshu's entire body. Is this the cuticle that is used to temporarily resist the strange fire? Is it reliable? Yunshu thought to himself as he felt the blood armor covering his whole body. Extremely cold field. To be on the safe side, Yunshu still wrapped an extremely cold field on the outer layer of the scarlet armor, so that even if the effect of the blood lotus pill was about to disappear, the extremely cold field could help Yunshu survive for a while. After opening the extremely cold field, Yunshu took out the nailing, which can store different fires while absorbing them. After absorbing nailing into his body first, Yunshu rushed towards the blue light below. Is this the heart fire of Kinglian? It's so beautiful. Looking at the blue flames that kept beating, Yunshu was even fascinated. Lulu. Yunshu quickly shook his head and hurriedly shook off the redundant thoughts in his mind. Thinking wildly at this time would be fatal. I'm wronged. You should change the place first. Since the green lotus platform of Kinglian Earth Heart Fire has the effect of isolating high temperature, Yunshu can safely use Shenwei to transfer the strange fire to Shenwei space. Anyway, even Neji can absorb the abnormal fire, which means that the abnormal fire has not reached the temperature of burning the space, and Yunshu's divine power space is so large, it is not afraid of it burning things. Afterwards, Yunshu was transferred to the Shenwei space together with Kinglian's heart fire and the blue lotus platform. Yunshu didn't want to absorb the strange fire under the magma, it was too dangerous. The next step is to take out the strange fire. Yunshu looked at the cyan lotus stand in front of him. The rhizome of the cyan lotus stand had been cut off just before the transfer, so Yunshu could put away the lotus stand directly. Boom! Exclamation mark. The moment the lotus platform was collected, a powerful force burst out from Kinglian's heart. Almost got blown away. Be honest. Huo Lan condescends. Yun Lima sealed Kinglian's heart fire in the space in front of him with his pupil technique, and then transferred the sealed space to himself in front of him. Huo Lan Jiangxin's ability, Yunshu, has almost figured out that it can seal a space, similar to the invisible bedrock in Minecraft. Point after sealing, it can be transferred, or in other words, the sealed space can be cut off, and Yunshu himself can freely enter and exit the space cut off by the seal. After transferring Kinglian's heart fire to his face, Yunshu began to put his hands deep into Kinglian's heart fire. He needed to pull out the tinder of Kinglian's heart fire, and then swallowed it to subdue the strange fire. End of this chapter. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.